Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Let's go! Let's go!
Hi everyone, how you doing? Internet is being a little bit quirky, because I was too off of it to fix my VPN that broke today as well, apparently. Hi, I hope you see me though. I hope the picture is okay. How you doing? Everyone, Kaiser, thank you so much for support. Thank you so much for the 29 months already. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Bloody. Hi, Pinimeshka. Hi, Baka. Hi, Kelga. Hi, Barracks. Hi, Sans. Hi, how you doing, everyone? I hope I said hello to everybody. Hi. Something happened? Just minor things. 85 watch streak. Holy shit. Good job. Thank you so much, Adir. Thank you. This is what you should see to every moderator, guys. This is what you should see to every moderator. Holy shit. That's dedication here. Thank you. Me, it's hot 30 degrees whole day. Oh, it was worse here. It was 35 degrees. At some point, I just go in the kitchen and I see the. Thank you so much, Pet. At some point, I just go in the kitchen and I see the thermometer and I see 35 degrees. I mean, 34, but like almost 35. And I was like, oh, that's why me in my like not sweater, but like like basically, how do you say it? Not t-shirt. How are you saying it? Hoodie? Kind of. Without hooded hoodie. I was like, I feel a little hot. I wonder why. I wonder why I felt hot. Thank you, Addie. Hope you're all doing well today. What day is it today, Ewan? Thursday. So a little bit more and there is a day off. Been sitting by the deep fried all day. I think I'm already covered in the crust. Oh. That means that you're crusty though. That means that you're yummy. That means that anyone can just go to you at the street and just. But that means as well that you're gonna feel even worse at the rainy days because you're gonna get wet and you're gonna be like all soggy. It's hot as well. I don't know why, but when people see me at the streets, they'd be like, "Damn, they're hot." Yeah, when I cross people for some reason their faces turn red. I guess it's that hot outside. Or I just went up naked at the streets. As you can hear, my window is still open. I was scared for my life today. My neighbors were doing some renovations again, I guess, at their place. But I don't know, if you live at the Slavic house, I'm pretty much sure you know. Basically, since we have a central heating, we have tubes, right? Vroom. We have tubes that's going from the first floor to the end floor, right? So everyone will have a heat, right? The thing is, I don't know if you can do this, but I think they were actually sewing it today. Like, I think they're all actually caught in it today because my own tubes were doing like they were actually wiggling. So they were doing something with their tubes, and I was scared for my life here because my neighbors they have a hands from the ass, trust me. And they, for the time of my life, they already fucked my apartments to the brim. Like, they actually fucked it over because they were renovating this or they're renovating that. They fucked over with every step of the way every time they tried to do something. And I was scared here because, listen, in this tubes, there's the water there. I mean, I don't think that there is a water when it's not having heat. Hi, Aka. But for sure, at some point that there is water there. And in the end of the day, it's still a tube that if something is gonna happen, it's still gonna kind of touch me one way or another. So I was scared. That I mean, still something might happen, but I swear to God, if something will happen to my room, I will drag those motherfuckers into judge. I will drag them, sue them to the rim. They will answer me. My family might be merciful to them across the whole lifespan when they were fucking over our apartments, but I will not be so merciful. I'm way more spiteful. Way more spicy. Аж английские буквы туда-сюда, поэтому привет, еще привет, Бланчио, привет. Ну за что же мы английскую букву туда-сюда? А я их тоже туда-сюда, на самом деле, манала. Привет. It's fine if they have a permission. It's good they're doing it in summer. Yeah, it's good that they're doing it in summer because if they were to do it like at any point when it's actually heating, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be pretty. I'm pretty sure it would be really not pretty. So yeah, I really hope that they know what they're doing, because in a lot of cases they've proven other ways. They've proven that they actually don't know shit. So I really hope that they know what they're doing. I like your determination. Trust me, I'm really spiteful. And especially if something like contains of like protecting somebody, especially if it's like my friends or family, I'm really determined. I'm really like, how to say it? My sense of justice is really huge and high, even though like sometimes I'm kind of regretting at the end of the day, right? I'm kind of regretting what I did. Because sometimes my sense of justice or sense of protectiveness is going highway, like actually fucking highway. Sometimes I regret what I'm doing, but for example, recently I've been having a beef with my same neighbors, by the way, because they were rude to my grandma. That was the last mistake they could have fucking made, because being rude to my grandma is the same as being rude to the fucking god in my eyes, because my grandma is the closest person to me in my life, right? And they've been rude to her. And this is when I went highway. I was like, so how about I'm gonna remember you every fucking wrong deed that you did at the cross of like 20 years that I know you? At least 20 years, right? How about I'm gonna remember you this? Thank you for the cheeseburger without cheese. That number is a goddamn lie. It's not a lie. This is actually how many cheeseburgers without the cheese I ate. What do you mean? Капец, так страшно, когда ты смачно не орёшь в микрофон. Ну, бывает. Страшно. А что страшнее, когда я ору внезапно или когда я спокойная? Never ending лимон, быть человек сосед. Пошли они нахуй. У меня соседи, это, блядь, не соседи. Это, я не знаю, что они там уже Селимскую империю нахуй строят. В своих ограниченных хронометражах. Я не знаю, что произошло с... Ой. С объемом 3 буквами, но все умерло час назад, не знаю. А, вот что у меня все по... Не, все хорошо, ладно. Значит, это не просто у меня все ёбнуло. Все хорошо, не переживай. Did someone say justice? Justice reigns from above. And this is what deadass is gonna happen to my neighbors, by the way. I'm literally gonna put the chemical fucking acid, you know, Joker style rain on them. If they're gonna do something. When calm. Really? I'm scary when I'm calm. Man. Страшно, когда ты спокойно говоришь, я привык к ору. Насколько по шкале от 1 до 10, насколько страшно? Не, по шкале это... По страшным фильмам. Какой самый страшный фильм? Там типа я звонок или чё? From myself, 1K500. Not from yourself. Not from yourself. I mean, this is... Okay. This message have an error because originally I wanted to make it like so let everyone have each count on their own, right? But the thing is I don't know how to make it, and I was too shy to ask anyone who had something like this. Like every of my acquaintances, friends, everyone who had it, I was too shy to ask them. So I didn't ask anyone. I tried to, of course, to look for the answer on the internet and such, but I wasn't able to. So we stuck with what we stuck with. Из-за того, что мне не пускают русские субтитры, не пускают. Так же страшно, как спать в машине скорой. You're like the most mischievous child. If it's quiet, it'll be hell right now. Yeah, I'm like a peace before the storm, right? Like a quiet before the storm. That makes sense. Quite so, isn't it? So yeah, maybe one day we're gonna fix it. But so far I'm still shy. Like even when I was doing like Sabaton, remember, I was trying to master myself to ask like stuff from my friends who's already doing Sabatons and all that stuff, like to ask the directions kinda with all these things, because it's all new to me, right? But I'm too shy. Колеса скоро еще страшнее. Ну, там можно выжить хотя бы. Что мне как работнику страшнее мой вариант. Ой-ой-ой. Опачки, гадкий, привет! Выспался? Привет, гадкий. Там это, как вчера у деда просидели. Ну, вчера так-сяк сидела. Вот. So, yeah. So, yeah. Рись. Блять, ночь. Кто? Ху? А, я что-то на русском не смогла ник про это проинформировать. Ты ж курагу знаешь, смотреть 2 часа 6... Ты это мне говоришь, мы же с ним одинаковы в этом плане. Вспомните, как я видос сырника смотрела, который 2 часа шел, что ли, что-то такое. Даже не 2 часа, ну, короче, что-то такое шло, и мы смотрели сколько? 6 часов тоже. Это база. Это база для болтунов таких пердунов, как мы. В том-то и дело, что пердунов. Ну я. Ну мы. Мы, я и кто? Us. Me and who? Yeah, I have this problem too. When we watch something, when we watch something on the stream, I really like to like stop at some point and just like talk, or like if we have a VM and all that stuff, we just like speak, and this is how the 30-minute video goes to 6 hours. Так это же база не у всех. Некоторые просто смотрят, а потом делают вид, что они реакт делают. Когда они просто посмотрели видос чисто, а потом в конце сказали, ну, база, или VV, все. Yeah, Hardy Dubose. Hardy Dubose, is it from the game? Is it your new love interest from the game? Talking about love interest. I need new Atomic games. I need something. I need hyperfixations. I was already stating this issue. I need hyperfixations. I don't know how is it about you guys, but for sure if you're neurodivergent especially, I'm pretty sure you're the same as me. You thrive upon hyperfixations. I didn't have hyperfixations already for so many years actually. After Mystic Messenger, I doubt I had any. I'm so sad because this is what drives you like really harshly. Drives you to do this, to do that. But man, I quite cannot catch the hyperfixation upon anything. Lufa, how you doing? Gish привет. How is that adorable mimic? Ah, adorable mimic. Nah. I hit my hand today. From the least of wars, I hit my hand today, and this is the least of the wars. How you doing though? The bastard left me. I'm giving him back to you. Saikuno? I don't need Saikuno though. You can leave it to him, to yourself. I don't need Saikuno. It's because of you here. Лашки пытаются спаться после работки, дальше стрима было необычно, ведь они орущие прописки. Вот так бывает. Так бывает. Давай, спокойной ночки тебе. А, нет, отсыпаться, да. Спокойной ночки тебе. Спасибо большое, что зашел, пришел. Надеюсь, в следующий раз все будет не так страшно. Но одно и то же, 100% не... Ой, Сай, как минимум нет столько денег на содержанок. So yeah. What I was about to say, what I was talking about even? I forgot, man. How long we can watch videos and stuff like this. I was planning to watch today with you guys the Walter files. Not explanation, but like kinda, how to say, like basically someone's review on the Walter files, kinda. I think I will still do. Oh, something fell outside. Scary. I think I will still do that. I was just planning to like kind of watch the whole Walter files, at least most of the Walter files videos, but in the end of the day it didn't end up well. So I think I'm just gonna watch the video explanation with you because I'm really curious to watch the film. What are we going to do today? Maybe draw and watch some videos, just chill basically. Random play rhythm game, maybe. Don't know about rhythm game for sure. Maybe. I don't know for sure about the games because since I'm streaming today on the Wi-Fi, I don't know if it can hold such changing pictures basically. It usually does not support something like this, so we're gonna see. But yeah, video for sure. I think, and Joan for sure. Joan is thankfully for free. Joan is free. Playing games? No. Drawing? Yes. And of course, quite frankly, I need to hurry up with my work. I feel bad with how I'm how to say it, how not fast I'm being with my model drawing, because I'm trying to perfect every aspect of it. You know how usually, I don't know, not usually, but a lot of times when you see like models, especially in a certain price range, in like my price range, you see like little imperfections here and there, like with clear eye. I'm trying to not to make it like this, because I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna get crucified if there's going to be something like this, or there's going to be like continuous problems with fixing it afterwards. But no, that's blah blah blah. Even if it was like kind of, say, more in the artistical decision. So yeah, I'm trying to perfect it, but the more I try to perfect it, the more I actually not going anywhere with what I'm doing, and the more I'm actually just taking my own time and the time of the commissioner. I hope to actually fix it. Gish never off. She online right now? Yeah, Gish never off. She is always online. One day when I'm actually gonna die, I will load myself into the World Wide Web. If I'm not gonna get over AI, if some sort of AI is not gonna take over me, I'm actually gonna continue streaming and all that stuff until Amazon is not gonna decide to unify me as the casino promoter or something like this. So yeah, even when I'm gonna die, I will still be here. What is that, Blanca? Is that a link for my character AI bot? Is that it? Is that what I think it is? Is this me? Hi Gishi, hi Timio, how you doing? Welcome. How you doing? Welcome. I swear to God, at some point I will actually poke the tires of the people who is riding outside. Mama Uma, hi, how you doing? I was just talking about how I'm feeling sorry for being so slow at my work because of my perfectionism. Hi Uma, how you doing? Did you just woke up? Are you sick? No, not at all, thankfully. A new creepypasta, Gishi, that imitates your friends and drives you crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna actually, when I'm gonna die, I will go onto your PCs and I will just put 6.7 virus at your PC. Yeah, this is what's gonna happen. So yeah, fear the day when I'm actually gonna disappear. Fear the day you're gonna have a Gishu malware at your PCs that you're not gonna be able to get rid of, because if you're gonna even reinstall your OC, you're still gonna get it. You're still gonna get it because I'm gonna be inside of your motherboard, your GPU, everything. I was gonna be in everything. I'm even gonna be in like your computer case, by the way. Like I'm gonna be in everything. I'm gonna inflict everything. I'm gonna inflict the floor that your PC stands on, your table the PC stays on. I'm gonna inflict everything, so you're not gonna be able to get rid of me. Sounds like yandere bullshit, right? I was gonna say, you just woke up? So you're eating now, I suppose? I'm afraid you won't be able to handle the number of handsome men on my laptop wallpaper. Nah, trust me. Trust me, I'm gonna be able to handle, trust me. I was suspended from Discord on the other day, just how many, 2 days ago? For sending my friends topless art of men. I think I can handle it. I think at this point I can handle everything. I'm still scared, by the way. What if at some point there's like, I don't know, commission of the topless men that I draw, which I already drew multiple times, which is stoic, and I'm gonna just like post it on my Discord, and Discord is gonna be like this: oh no, porno, suspended, boom, and that's gonna block me forever. Imagine what I could do in that case. Should I really, just in case, have the second Discord account that's gonna hold my channel, like my channel's Discord and stuff like this? Because I'm afraid, I'm scared. What if something is actually gonna happen? What you sent weren't men, but femboys. I have a man here. I have a man, excuse me? Sloth and Deep Space Man, excuse me? Excuse me, if they're not beardy and hairy, doesn't mean they're not men, okay? If they're not old and hairy, doesn't mean they're not men. Just means... most likely that they're from Atome game. sorry. But yeah, at some point actually, it's... You can call me for Joshi or whatever, for having so many topless men at my PC. But at the end of the day, it's all true that it's only for the practice of mine. Because if I'm saving some sort of the art, be sure it's because I like the render of it, the light of it, or the composition of it, or the colors. I don't really save art that much just for the like emotion inflict. Sometimes do, sometimes, but like lately especially, no, not that much. Lately especially. Lurky in the stormy. Stormy, you have a storm? Be careful. Hi Max, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope the storm won't take you away to the O's world. If you're gonna be there still, be sure to take the Ruby Sleepers and sing Wicked, please. Be sure to do that. I think it's what you're supposed to do when you're gonna be in that situation. Be sure to have a lesbian duo there, please. Slick face, fanboy. I see how it is. I see. So, am I fanboy? Am I fanboy? Does it mean that I'm a fanboy? Am I a fanboy in your eyes? I don't really like perfect faces, proportions, or ideal characters. As I recall, flaws make characters pleasant and lively. That is true. That is true. Usually, characters that has fully symmetry, or even people who have fully symmetry, it's more on the uncanny feeling than something perfection-wise. I support that. I support imperfectionism. I support the asymmetry and all that stuff. I mean, again, one of the reasons why my first model was so unsymmetrical. This one is way different though. This one is way more symmetrical and right, quote. But yeah, I do understand what you're saying. Wait, I just remembered something. I just remembered to do something on the Uma's model. And usually I like write it down because if I'm not gonna write it down, most likely just gonna forget about it even if it was something important to draw there. So I'm just like writing everything. Sorry. Noria, Andrushka, and Dre aren't femboys. Okok. Hi, Saydir. You like the shirt I sent you? Shirt, let me see. How you doing, Saydir? I'm still so envy of you. Holy shit, I'm still so envy that you have this cat from Final Fantasy because I forgot. I just forgot. Sorry, I'm a Fujoshi and I like shipping fictional men. If you don't like it, you can just go. Make out with your best friend and let me watch. Yes, my husband bought me this shirt. It's funny that you send me this. Oh, yeah. It's funny that you're sending me this. Oh wait, it did not work. Did it work? Sorry, I've been alt-tabbing, so I didn't notice. Oh, it's working. It's funny that you're sending me this shirt because yesterday, deadass, I was screaming at how it's like basically you're not friends with your body if you were never kissing. So like it's better not to have those fake friends, if anything, if you never kissed each other on the lips to lips. It's interesting that you sent it to me. We literally like was talking about it on the previous stream. I'm good, need to log in for work but don't wanna. You know, I would be scared if my lawyer were to say this. Or imagine there's like life or death situation or something like this, and my lawyer data says this. Man, I kinda need to work, but I don't want you. I don't want you. Just imagine something like this would happen. I would be mortified. I would be actually putting myself into the death sentence at this point, like by myself.
Gishi, you can have cheeseburger.
Hi Vanshi, how you doing? Ginshi, Vanshi, how you doing? Андрей, они как отдельный вид. У меня несколько друзей Андрей, все они бешеные суки, при этом натуралы. Уверен? Что-то... Точно. Может быть, просто они тебе не друзья, если они тебя не засасывали напрямую. Может быть, просто хуёвые друзья? Мы же вроде это обсуждали уже. Если вы не засасываете друг друга по гланды, это значит, что вы хуёвые друзья? Предадут они тебя. Предадут они тебя. Ну что я предсказываю? Я как гадалка буду сидеть. Буду вот так вот предсказывать. Гинси, Ванси. No. It's you guys who need to change your names. Hello? Yeah, at this point they're doing it on purpose. At this point, I think it's actually out of the spite. I don't know what I did, but I think at this point they're doing it out of spite. I'll open up if Andrei sucks me. So you like your friend, you're saying? You know, it's interesting how many secrets of you guys I know. Is that my full name though? No, your full name should be Gishichi. It should be Pelmeshichi. Seidir should be Seidirchi. Seichi. Seidichi. Yeah, Andrea. Okay. Interesting choice. What if you want like some Andes? Or you have a boner on the name? It's Vanshika cheese? No. Vanshi Chi. Not chi from cheese. Hooray, I'm Pilmenichi. Yes! Imagine how it sounds, right? Sounds nice, no? Sounds really nice. Sounds really nice, guys. Come on. I want to create a sect. Come on. Can you let me have this one? Come on. I already have so many things I don't have in my life. Can you let me have at least this one? At least my own sect? At least my own sect? Am I asking for too much? I think I'm not asking for too much. Okay, Walter's Fuzz. I remember there was a video explanation of the whole thingy. Vansichi. See, you're getting it, see? Секта поклонения мимику в деле. Наконец-то! Наконец-то, блядь! Наконец-то! I cannot find the video I was seeing. Oh, there it is. Full story. There it is. Where's Gishimania? We got a planned collab. I don't know. I think she ditched you. I think she did as just ditched you. I think she just, you know, just fucked over everybody. I think she just actually took everyone's money and ran off. Thank you for the lurk, Vanchi. Thank you so much. Thank you. So tonight, willow snows. Okay. Today we're gonna draw first, at least. How about going to watch at 10 o'clock dissection of Disco Asylum. I don't wanna though. Don't wanna. The only dissection I wanna watch is human dissection. 10 hours? Even the full lore on Five Nights at Freddy's was 6 hours. What's there about on 10 hours? How much water is there in the video? 10 hours. 10 hours, you know what things I can do in 10 hours? I can sleep. I can sleep in 10 hours. I can have a fully rested sleep. Full on beautiful sleep. After what I'm gonna be so happy. 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 Hi Shishi, new chatter here. Hi Block Senpai, Hentai Opai, hi. How you doing? Are you sure you're new chatter? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? If you're a new chatter, do you want to join our sect? Like actually, like I'm asking this as like, you know, my birthday present, right? My birthday were in May, but like as a birthday present, can I ask you guys to create a sect in my name? As I said, I think it's not too much to ask. Like, again, I had so many upside downs in my life. I think I deserve at least this much, right? I think I deserved at least like little tiny little sect at my name, right? I think I deserve it. Is midnight? Is it midnight? It is almost midnight. Is it almost midnight? Sorry, can I ask you this, guys? I hope I can like kind of count on you with this one. Oh. I hope I can count on you on this one. Sect is really important to me. Yeah. I would like to be the main star at sect. So everyone will love me, respect me, you know. All those cool things. Maybe tell people what they do, what to do, you know. All this good stuff, good stuff. There we go. I need to create different profiles at this point. I'm forgetting to turn off my second channel's thingies. Ay. Ay, I'm a little butterfly. Ay, I'm a little butterfly. Here we go. Okay. Oh. There's no water there, just compressed concentrate of flour. It's an awesome game based on a book about how to live without relying on your past, about how to change and live after trauma, find new loved ones when you've been abandoned, and about how there is hope even where there is no way out, and also a cool beard turning into sideburns at disco. Talking about the hope and talking about keep on living, I'm pretty sure if you never knew about Walter's Files, you're gonna like Walter's Files because of this. But it's a little bit more onto said end, basically. This is exactly depicts what's gonna happen if you're not gonna decide on keep on living. Basically, what's gonna happen if you're gonna decide on just like, you know, giving up and all that stuff. Pretty sure this is what's gonna happen. I wonder though what they depict. I really hope that they're not decrypting the film, because I would like to watch the film separately. So far I see no film instances, thank god. Okay, I think it's just going to be the depiction of the actual files, of the actual YouTube videos. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, so yeah, if you are into analog horror especially, that shit is going to be for you, because as much as I'm not the huge geek on analog horrors... Oh, something fell again outside. Something that fell as a human being. What is happening? Okay. Never mind. So as much as I'm not like the fanatic of the analog horror, I still like this one a lot because I think it's really well made. Okay, the things happened today. Just remembered I'm bit my tongue somehow. It hurts. It always hurts. It's like a funny thing. My wife told me my tits started growing. I hope it's a muscle and not scuff beard tits. I'm close to 30s and it's scary. Nah, 30s. At 30s, I mean, you can become scuff at like whatever age, I guess, almost. But 30, it's not that much to just like scuff just out of nowhere, trust me. So we're just gonna hope that it's a muscle. We're just gonna hope that it's a muscle and you should be really, really, really happy. Because a male booba is the best booba. By the way, maybe there is a movie based on Disco Asylum. I think I heard something like this. Maybe. Maybe. Nowadays there's a movie for everything, so I won't be really surprised. Okay, I really hope it's not copyrighted, so I will flip the video on the upper left corner. So you will see like maybe some text and stuff like this better. Everything is for you. Everything is for you. Okay, let me put the audio so people who watch it in VOD will have it today. Changing the category? Yeah, I think, yeah. Art. Doing art. The category is art.
This is the complete lore of the Walton Files. Completed with dates, references, and
okay, tell me if it's too low or too high. The usual.
Completed with dates, references, and everything you need to know to better understand this story. I can guarantee that you won't know at least one thing gone over on this list. The Walton Files lore has been long and complicated with an ever-expanding story. Hidden behind 4 main uploads, soon to be 5, 2 short episodes, unlisted videos, and countless updates to the website. Over this time, we have been given countless peeks into overarching mysteries of the story. How did Felix react after the crash? What is Bond, and what is his plan? And finally, what happened to Jack Walton?
This is only the beginning, for I'm going to tell you a story of broken people.
Meow.
People.
Meow.
He is so sorry
Hi,
about
Mods.
what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that.
Hip hooray, the sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray, the sun has got his hat
Steam open. E. Don't know if it's working correctly
This
though.
is Bond's Burgers, an animatronic-themed family restaurant similar to places many of us grew up with. Birthday parties, arcades, stage shows. Everything about it was designed to bring families through the front door. And at the center of it all were the showstoppers.
Today, we'll take a journey through the magic of the showstoppers. Those mech models built by Cyberfun Tech to bring
What's
the
that?
magic of
I'm gonna give you a game. Game? Don't need to. Oh, there's
The
something.
showstoppers
Okay.
are the 4 animatronics that make up the main cast of the restaurant.
You need
First,
to
there's
though.
Bond, the face of Bond's Burgers. You find him in advertisements, instructional tapes, merchandise, pretty much everywhere. Then there's Banny and Shaw,
Did it
a
work?
bunny and sheep,
Let me see.
both fitting the farm aesthetic the restaurant originally seemed to be built around.
Mm.
Finally, there's Buzu. Unlike the others, he's a
Maybe I should
ringmaster, a
re-enter
strange
or
choice
oh,
when
wait.
compared to the
My
Farm
phone should be
Queen, and
close
one that
to
might
me.
become a little more interesting later.
Where's my phone?
Together, these 4 animatronics become the heart of Bond's Burgers. But before there were Bond's Burgers, there were 2 friends. Jack Walton
wait.
and Felix Crank.
But first, here's a message from
Oh,
Jack Walton
wait.
and Felix Crankin.
Is that? Oh wait. If I give you a Discord sound, wait. First, tell me please
Gishichi,
what
you
type
can
of
have
game is it?
cheeseburger.
That's a hi. Oh my gosh, Modes, thank you. No, I cannot restart Steam because my my VTube is there. Yo, thank you, Machine Party. Modes gifted me a Machine Party. Is it the game that you told me about? The creators of the right? Is it the one? Right, Machine Party. Yo, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Make sure to play it when I'm gonna be able to download it. My Steam right now is fucked because basically when you open Steam without how do I say it, with a normal internet, it works. It works. If you switch it to the router with VPN, it's not sensing anything. Yeah. Thank you so much, Moz. Thank you. One more thought. It's interesting how Gisha's personality almost changes when she switches languages. It's like there's two wolves inside me. Yeah. There's two she wolf. I mean, at this point, I think it's not like today. I think it's not really changing. Сегодня, мне кажется, все примерно наравне. An open world like story with amnesia, voices in your head. I mean, that sounds interesting. I need to see. Okay, I need to see. Okay, let's have a little detour. Again, Mods, thank you so much. A little detour on okay, disco. What's disco? Disco's disco. Let me see. Let me see. Video wise, right? Video wise. Yogish. Yo mods. Okay. Oh wait, is it a new game? 2 days ago. Oh no. Should not be. Should not be. Yogish говорил, привет, Кирилл. Так. Так. Gameplay. Yogesh can get your games for cheaper than codes now. Oh yeah, with the new thingy. Do you have my prices? Since it's cheaper for me. Nice. That's cool. That's cool. Wait. Okay, I just wanna watch. It's like this. I saw someone playing that. Then. Lots of story, right? Don't know. Sounds like really story heavy. Sounds like something that I'm gonna play forever. I would like to say that I would give it a chance, but I don't think, because it's like really long. It's like really long. The whole playthrough, it's 1 day, 12 hours, 27 minutes. I just not gonna be able to finish it, sadly. Wait. I'm willing to get a game for you that you would love. Aw, that's cool. Wait, do you have my prices? Because that would be nice, like you have my prices. It's one of the cheapest ones because I have a Filipino account. Read a million phrases there. It's got a dead as disco. What's up, job doing? I'm doing arts. Wait, how's mine? Like, my art is doing good. You doing art too? Data disco is cool too. I still don't know how it's working. I watched multiple like songs that people were playing with it. I still don't understand how it's working. Mine is cheaper than yours. Holy moly! You cheater! You cheater! I thought I cheated the system. Man, that's cool though. That's really nice. That's really nice that there is no like region block anymore. That's really nice. Thank you, Motsir, again. Thank you so much.
Which reads, in BSI,
Okay, let's...
Over Bond's Burgers.
Do you know Walter's
there were two
files, Mods?
friends, Jack Walton and Felix Crank.
But first, here's a message from Jack Walton and Felix Kranken, our beloved founder. Which reads, in BSI, the most important thing to us isn't the money or the rating. The most important thing to us is that you have a wonderful experience while working with us.
Long before the restaurant ever opened, Jack and Felix met while attending university. Both shared the exact same dream, to build a restaurant unlike anything people had seen before. Animatronic entertainers, advanced robotics, and an experience families would remember. In 1962, that dream became real. Together they found Bunny Smiles.
You spent the video, didn't you? No, I reflected it.
Create Bond's Burgers.
Hello,
Do you want it to be bigger?
My name is Felix Kranken. I just want to greet all of you to the company. Me and my friend Jack are both very excited about working with all of you. Here at Bunny Smiles, we believe that all it takes to achieve our dreams is hope. Would you like to achieve this dream with us?
It was an incredible idea. There was just one problem. Neither of them actually had the technology needed to build it. And as if starting a company wasn't difficult enough, life was moving forward. Jack had already started a family, a loving wife in Rosemary Walton.
Wishing part of my rest. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mod. Have a nice one with your friends. Thank you so much. Have a good day. You have it too. It isn't turned. It is turned though. It is turned. Yeah, it is turned. It's mirrored. Yeah. По плану рисуем, болтаем. Может быть, поиграем потом в игрушку. Может, нет. Может, да, может, нет. Как пойдет. Как пойдет.
Rosemary Walton, loving wife of... is a brilliant artist with a huge passion for poetry and the theatrical, and has done numerous art pieces before becoming the lead artist in BSI.
Together they had 2 children, Sophie and Ed. Meanwhile, Felix has started a family on his own, with Linda Kranken.
I know I haven't talked here as much as I used to. This month has been so crazy. I moved in with Felix last week, and he was very happy about it. Yesterday, Jack and Rose had their 3rd child, a little girl. Her name is Molly Walton. Jack and Felix have been pitching the restaurant idea to a company that's interested in the project. The company's name is Cyberfun Tech.
Beautiful, isn't it? This is one of the first
Не
mech
перевернут.
built by Cyberfun Tech to bring the magic of Bond's burgers to life.
Перевернут, в смысле?
Smiles originally reached Cyberfun to make their blueprints for the animatronics. But we all got so invested in the idea that we decided to have a full partnership with BSI. I'm Susan Wicks, the lead technical engineer at Bunny Smiles, designed and built animatronic masks for Bond's burgers. Yes.
While Jack and Felix owned Bunny Smiles Incorporated, they couldn't build the animatronics alone. That responsibility belonged to another company entirely. Cyberfun
I made it a
Tech.
touch-ups to have a little bit more color
2 people who would become
to your,
essential to this story.
black colored
Wiggins, the
things,
lead
so it will
engineer
reflect a little bit
responsible for
more.
designing and building the animatronics.
Yes.
And Charles Brooks, the computer engineer responsible for programming them. Together they developed some surprisingly advanced technology. Facial recognition capable of identifying employees, complex movement systems,
Yeah, way better like this, right?
of unique voice responses.
Way better.
Technology that was years ahead of its time, stuff you wouldn't expect from a small family restaurant. Throughout the series, we constantly see Susan and Charles working to perfect these machines before opening day. Jack helps whenever he can, even bringing his own children into the restaurant, just to test the facial recognition.
Well, yeah, but we're going to do a secondary test because the console seems to have trouble detecting the faces.
Oh, the test we did with Sophie, right.
By every measure, everything was going perfectly. Susan and Charles were finishing up the animatronics, Jack and Felix were preparing the business, and Rosemary was designing the promotional artwork. The restaurant was only 1 month away from opening, and everything was finally coming together. And then, everything fell apart.
Чекни скрин, ну-ка. Ну вот, допустим, вот здесь вот сейчас текст прям большой. Ну-ка. Так у тебя все нормально, в смысле? Не понимаю. Вот у тебя Cyberfun Tech. У тебя все же хорошо на скрине. Ты чё? Ты что, не выспался, что ли? У тебя все хорошо на скрине, в смысле? У тебя все хорошо. Ты чего? Ты чего? Все хорошо.
Christmas was nice.
Christmas was
They built a gray rabbit
nice.
doll for Ed and Molly. Molly named it Rocket. Felix drank a lot yesterday. This has been a problem for a while. He's a good person, but he doesn't want to address this. It's getting worse and worse. But he doesn't notice. He feels really bad about it, but doesn't try to change.
Заправа не баг... А, ты... Не, я наоборот хотела сделать это все нормальным, чтобы текст, если что, могли прочитать. Просто то, что аналоговый хоррор, там, возможно, будут моменты, которые надо будет либо прочитать, либо там еще лучше проглядеть. Короче, там такие маленькие моменты иногда могут быть. Вот. И за права вроде не должны бахнуть. Но если что, в любом случае, это будет на YouTube, как там, ну, если что, просто заблюрю картинку полностью, ну, как бы, ну, ладно.
Getting worse. He is so submerged with their project that he doesn't realize how much damage he's doing to himself. How much damage he's doing to me. He keeps going places to drink. Sometimes he even stays in the warehouse at night for the sole purpose of drinking. He doesn't listen. He
Yoga,
never
thank you.
listens. I don't know what to... Dear Felix, May 2nd, 1974. By the time you're reading this, I shouldn't be home. I know you're confused. I am confused too. What you said last week, it hurt me a lot, but it opened my eyes. Hopefully this opens your eyes too. Our relationship isn't healthy. I don't think it ever was. I am leaving Brighton this morning. You're at the warehouse with Jack and the rest as I'm writing this. By the time you get home, I'll already be in Hurricane.
All because of the bottle. It overwork.
Hello? Felix. Jack. What is it? Listen, I was wondering if you could do me and Rose a small favor tonight. I don't know, Jack. Today's been it's about an Molly. They have a school event tonight.
So watching other people makes me crazy. I played it too. What's the game called? Well, let's go. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. I hope your day has been well. I'm like, bleh. Have you ever watched Walter Files? Have you ever watched Walter Files? How was your job?
Tonight? Yeah.
Meant to be an angel? No, angel can kill themselves. Can fuck themselves. Chase them away to know. You don't understand what happened because I'm not telling you.
Just kind of lost, I think.
Uncle Felix, will you drink?
Sounds familiar. Should be familiar too.
25 new messages.
Tris hate you. Не слышала об этом.
Now, I need you to pick up the phone. It's been 3 hours since I told you to get Ed and Molly home. What happened to my children? If anything happened to us, you must tell me. You haven't told me in 3 hours.
Open the door. Только демо. Я что-то в принципе не слышала только. Интересно. The fuck?
So do tell me what happened, Mr. Crankin.
Ed and Molly Walton are dead. Killed in a car crash caused by none other than Felix Crankin. It's hard to overstate just how devastating this is. At this point, the people working at Bunny Smiles weren't just co-workers anymore. They'd become family. Jack had lost both of his children. Rosemary had lost her son and daughter. Felix had just killed the children of his best friend. Nothing would ever be the same
Maybe
again.
it's based in the window, Gishi, but I cannot do anything, guys. I'll die from the heat if it will be like this. Get to say, because I need to end my shit. It was awful, by the way. I will not forget Jason. Jason, thank you so much, Political. How you doing, Gishi, sweetheart? Could be better. I hope you're doing well. You're doing well.
What does that mean?
That's what I heard, man.
He was drunk while driving the car?
Lower your voice, alright? The funeral went down some weeks ago.
They didn't tell us?
It was private, Charles. Only the family were there.
But honestly, I think everyone asked the same question here. What did Felix tell Jack?
Felix Archer Kranken reportedly arrived at the station in the morning on May 3rd. He had a broken pair of glasses, dirty blue pants, and a yellow dress shirt covered in dirt.
I'll close my window a little bit.
When I got
I'll try to do what I
he
can.
was already taken into custody. We sat him down for a few hours and he revealed valuable information about a case we were previously told about earlier that same day by Mr. Jack Walton. Walton's two youngest
Что-то очень быстро
kids,
звучит.
Ed and Molly Walton, had disappeared with Kranken the night prior. Felix's alibi stated he was unconscious after the car crash for about 20 minutes. When he woke up, the kids had ran off.
We know what Felix told the police. According to the official report, the kids ran off into the forest. That's the version the public believed. But Jack wasn't the public. Jack knew his kids. Jack knew Felix. And after everything they'd built together, I have a hard time believing he had accepted this explanation. So once again I ask, what did Felix actually tell them?
Jack. Oh God, what am I going to tell Jack? May 5th, 3 days after the accident. I haven't been able to sleep since last week. I finally told him what happened. It was in my office. Those were just the longest hours of my life. Pain in their eyes, the anger. But the fact they're still buried down there, it haunts me every night. Eating me up inside. Rosemary asked about the doll. I told her that they left it at school. That was a lie. I don't know what to do with the doll. Wherever I go, there it is. Make it stop.
Now before we keep going, there's something important we need to establish. Because from this point onward, we deal with the supernatural. From everything we've been shown, it's pretty clear that Ed and Molly don't simply die. Their spirits remain. Throughout the series, they're almost always represented as two red children. And eventually, they possess Rocket, a doll handcrafted by Jack Walton, named after their favorite ride at Bond's Burgers. The same doll that somehow finds its way back into the restaurant.
I don't even want to think about it. Living with that freaking doll in the room. Felix said it is. Tell us not to tell Jack or Rose is dead. I don't even want to be involved in this shit anymore.
I wonder if there are subtitles.
Imagine being Felix. Every single day, you're forced to live with what you've done. And now, the one object connected with the children you've killed is sitting in your own house. Whether Rocket is truly haunting Felix or simply reminding him of his guilt, one thing is certain. Felix can't live like this forever. At this point in the story, the tension between Jack and Felix has reached its breaking point. Trust is gone, respect is gone, and whatever friendship once existed between them is hanging by a thread. The frustrating part is, This is one of the biggest gaps in time in the timeline. We know the funeral takes place, we know the family mourns, and somehow life continues, and everyone gets back to work. Construction continues, preparations continue, and despite the worst tragedy any of them can imagine, Bond's Burgers still opens.
Ah, don't add those.
You excited?
VSI Technical Support Audio Log Number 3, June 30th, 1974. Jeremy's birthday party finished an hour ago. I decided to stay and help the employees clean the place. This week has been strange, especially because of the opening. I find it weird that they opened the place even though Mr. Wharton disappeared a few weeks ago. I hope he's doing alright. Rosemary came in today and asked if we'd seen him around.
Oh, thanks God the subtitles working.
Felix seems very concerned and worried too.
Jack Walton disappears. His disappearance happens only 3 weeks after Ed and Molly's funeral and just 2 weeks before Bond's Burgers officially opens. Think about the timing. His children have just died, and his company is finally opening. And then, he's simply gone. No body, no explanation. Naturally, I think we all have the same suspect in mind. Felix. But here's the problem. The night that Bond's Burgers opens, something else happens. Something that changes the direction of the entire story.
Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Everything went according to plan.
Boy.
This was the first birthday party in the restaurant, and I feel it turned out pretty well. I noticed a few irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics, especially in Bond. Something fell off. The limbs weren't moving properly. They looked stiff and odd, mainly in his right arm. It took a few more minutes to take him to the backstage, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm the only one left. Chris left some hours ago, and Felix didn't even show up. I'll leave and close the restaurant when I'm finished.
One thing I found strange is Felix's absence. Think about it. This restaurant is his life's work. He spent years building it alongside Jack, and yet, on the single most important day of his company's history, he never shows up.
If you lost your children,
There
I
isn't a real
think.
explanation for it. And honestly, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think something bigger is happening behind the scenes.
Oi. Oi. Oi.
Don't you worry. You're in safe hands, Susan. Welcome to Wonderland. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Bond. And you're Susan.
That was polite.
Bond claims his first victim, Susan Woodings. The very engineer who built the animatronics.
Wait. Whether tokens have been invented, I know there are compression ones to improve blood flow, but why do we need regular ones? Are they just for decoration? I mean decoration, but it's for heat as well. For example, I can say for sure, as a person who wears only skirts, like I just don't like jeans and stuff. For a long time period of my life, I was wearing like you know, oh my god, sorry, like jeans, pants and all stuff. But now you cannot literally force me to even wear them. So I primarily wear only skirts and stuff. So obviously I'm wearing a lot of stockings and shit. And I can say that this is first of all for, of course, mostly for decoration, because naturally, for example, my legs, as any part of my skin, is not really tanned, and at my opinion, not tanned legs of mine looks really weird and creepy, at my opinion. Like, overall I'm okay, but for some reason when I look at my legs, I don't know, I feel weird, especially kneecaps. This, of course, like you can ditch the socks by this way, so like it's kind of like socks, right? As well, for the perverts, it's kind of like more protection, right? When you're going up the stairs and stuff like this, it's not straight up your panties that is visible, but stockings and stuff. So it's kind of like a protection as well. And when it's winter, I genuinely felt more warmer when I was in the stockings and the skirt, when like in the pants and stuff. I don't know how it's working. I know literally it doesn't make any sense, but for me at least it was like this. I mean, I guess it's still like this. So yeah, because there's different den to the stockings, if you didn't know. Basically, I think the bigger, I always forget it, but the bigger the den or the lower the den, basically, the thicker the stockings are going to be. So the warmer they're going to be, and less, of course, rippable they're going to be. So the more like flexible they're going to be. So yeah, 120 den. Is it the highest one? I just genuinely always forgetting, because it was so long ago since I bought myself new ones. I'm kind of, I guess, taking care of my stockings nowadays more. So it was long since I bought new ones. But yeah, basically there's different dens, right? For almost like transparent, completely transparent, and for the ones that are going to be like almost, I don't know, for like, so yeah, they actually have a practical reasons. I don't know about like back in the days, for example. Pretty sure it was created just for the consumption, but yeah, there is practical reasons if you are, for example, like me, wearing only skirts. So again, like I'm not going to be cold because I know that I have a stockings. Ты послала меня за заколками, сказала взять 120... за колготками 120 тен. Она не сказала тебе, что это означает? Все хорошо, Кирилл, не переживай.
Is killed by one of her own creations. But Susan's death does something much bigger than add another victim to the timeline. It introduces us to the true antagonist of the Walton Files, Bond. Here's what we know.
Beautiful name for the serial killer, presumably.
Bond refers to as
Bond.
Wonderland.
Dead? No. Not yet, at least. Your heart is still beating. Welcome to Wonderland.
This place is fascinating.
Бond
doesn't describe it as death. In fact, he almost describes it as another world entirely. And visually, everything points to that one conclusion as well. This is his domain. He blends in with the environment, he moves through it effortlessly. He belongs here. And it's clear visually, Susan doesn't. As we look around Wonderland, something else stands out. Places we've seen before. The church where Ed and Molly's funeral was held. Bond's Burgers itself. And look at that. 2 red children.
Oh no.
Like we've seen before. It's Ed and Molly. The only other people we've seen inside of Wonderland. They're here too. And the way they behave tells us something that's incredibly important. They're afraid. Not of dying, not of Wonderland. They're afraid of Bond. Listen to what they say.
Quick, she's here. Molly, I don't think we should.
Those aren't the words of children who are safe. They're the words of children hiding from someone. Someone they know. Someone they've been trapped with. This also gives us our first look at Bond's authority. Wonderland isn't just somewhere he exists. He controls it. And that leads us to one of the biggest questions in the entire series. Who is Bond? We don't get an answer, but Martin does leave us with
fighting tactics. What fighting tactics you have when it's sleep paralysis? I'm actually quite happy that I never got myself into the sleep paralysis, because I generally like had so many chances to had sleep paralysis as a really anxious person, and like person who quite often had insomnia back in the day, especially. No, I'm really happy that I never had it, because I cannot imagine how it is. I mean, maybe I had something close to that, but not quite, I think, in my opinion. That looks creepy. I like the creepiness.
this one important clue.
I know you're scared. I was too. But look, the hard part is over with now.
Oh.
Besides, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Oi. Oi.
I know you're scared. I was too. That line completely changed the way I looked at this character. Because for the first time, Bond acknowledges that he wasn't always a monster. At some point, he was scared too. But then something changed him.
Okay,
and whatever it was, it's probably the key to understand everything that's happening in this story. But whatever Bond once had, it's long gone. Because while all of this is happening, Felix is doing what he's always done from the very beginning. He's covering everything up. And the Banny animatronic is quietly taking off stage for repairs.
The backstage is now locked for the week. I asked staff for explanations, and they refuse to elaborate. So, Banny will be off the stage for a few days, so keep the curtain on Banny's stage closed.
I'm calling to inform my colleague, or well, my friend, Susan, hasn't shown up in a few days. I contacted her family, and they say they also haven't heard from her. We're all really worried over here that something may have happened to her.
Hello, me.
The rest of the staff are completely left in the dark. Just another missing person. But while everyone inside the restaurant is kept in the dark, someone outside the company starts asking questions.
Я понимаю, Кирилл, все хорошо. Не переживай.
The founder of Cyberfund.
Последнее, что я хочу, чтобы вы, ребят, переживали, как вы там... Чё, вы там со мной наделали? Хорошо.
Remember his name. Because his letter puts Felix under...
Remember his name. Hi, тут нас Gishimichanga. Gishimichanga. I never ate chimichangas, by the way. Is it tasty? Shadow looked at me while I was singing about blowjob and disappeared easily. Holy shit, you're a warrior. Holy. Thank you, Shawarma. You need hug today? Pretty sure, yeah. I would like big crushing hug today.
Enormous pressure. Cyberfund wants to know where Susan is. They want answers. And if Felix can't give them any, everything they've spent years building could fall apart. At this point, Jack has disappeared. Susan has disappeared. Cyberfund Tech is demanding answers. The walls are closing in on Felix. So what does he do? Does he tell the truth? Does he admit what happened?
Yeah, hugged her,
No.
thank you. Oh
He makes
no!
another decision.
I'm so scared.
One that will make him look even more guilty.
We have a associate. I believe she does the art for the restaurant. She's been coming in a lot lately. She keeps going on about like her husband or something.
Thank you for the pet.
She's been let go out of the company yesterday, and
Oh my god, if you didn't understood what happened, the dude, literally Felix, he killed children accidentally because of his drinking problem. He accidentally killed in a crash accident his best friend's children, 2 children. Ed and Molly, right? Thank you, Lemmy. And he covered it up. He buried them, blah blah blah. So he covered it up, right? And after some time, the father of the family disappears as well. So Jack disappears. So Felix's best friend, who initially asked him to get his children like from the school party, basically. And after the father of the family disappeared, he buried and like basically covered up the killing of the children. He fired the wife of the guy whose children he killed and the guy who disappeared. So the woman is suffering with the loss of 2 children that he killed again because of his drinking problem, and suffering from the loss of the husband as well, who disappeared suddenly. And what the best thing that he decided to do is to fire her. She was an artist for the company. Imagine, artists always suffer the most, huh? Bro, why? Really shouldn't have done that. Really should have killed the children. I'm telling you that. I think that's not the best thing that you can do in your life in generally. Like I may be too young and green to understand some things maybe, but I think yeah, it's definitely not the thing that you're supposed to do. My Rosemary's head face reminds of Gishichi because that's me. That's me. That's the traumatized artist face. That we gotta have it the same. Like it's kind of like the trademark, you know. Kind of the same. That's okay. Sounds like something the main character of Disco Asylum will do. Yeah, telling you. After you told me about Disco Asylum, I was like, oh, he'll like that one. I'm proud of you, Gishiwama. You've done very good today. The art looks amazing, and you had a good day today. Make sure you get some good food and eat tonight. Thank you so much. I got a good food, thankfully, to my grandmama. She got me a little bit better. I would be a little bit in the worst state if not for her, gotta be honest. Man, that's why one of the main reasons why I love my grandmama. Просто какой-то мимика.
now a company policy that if a former employee makes any sort of drama inside the restaurant, they'll be permanently banned from entering.
At this point, Felix has become the center of everything. Jack is gone. Susan is gone.
Don't drink, children.
From the restaurant. And somehow,
she's banned from restaurant. She's not just fired, she's banned from restaurant.
But there's one piece of evidence I don't think enough people are talking about. A series of reports left behind by one of Bond's Burger's employees.
Why crying?
Richie. These tapes appear on the Find Jack Walton website under the caretaker page. At first, sounds like another employee documenting what's happened around the restaurant. But hidden inside these recordings is one detail that I think changes everything.
Happy to hear. Bond will be back on stage by tomorrow. Yeah, Felix set it up himself.
Thank you for the pet.
Maybe they worked out the differences after all.
He's lying! He's Larry Pants on fire, guys.
Because to understand why it matters, we need to talk about
Pants
a
on
character that barely appears in the
fire.
series at all. The Shadow Man. For how important this character...
The Shadow Man. Please tell me that you know who's the Shadow Man.
Might be. It's
I'm the
surprising how
Shadow
little screen time he
Man.
actually gets.
I'll eat your apple.
We only ever catch brief glimpses of him following characters throughout the restaurant, watching from the shadows, leading people towards Bond, and then this line.
Shadow Man feeds me when lights go off.
Shadow Man feeds me when lights go off. It's a strange
My
line,
life
but I
is a
don't
lie.
think it's metaphorical. I think Bond is telling us exactly what's happening.
Подумай,
Because
подумай.
almost immediately after, Martin gives us another clue. A flash frame. I'm still alive, but I can't move. I'm having trouble breathing and my stomach hurts.
That's
Think
me.
about that. Susan isn't dead. She's trapped. Alive enough for Bond to keep her in Wonderland, but unable to escape. Because Wonderland isn't the afterlife. It's something in between. And with that being true, Bond can't keep someone there alone. Bond has to keep the body alive. Someone has to help him. Which brings us back to the Shadow Man.
I
So,
don't.
who is he?
했더니.
Well, I don't
Is
think
this?
Martin
Yeah,
told us
it
directly,
is.
but he does leave us one incredibly clever clue.
Look at this image.
Look closely. 2 red children, a car,
Oh,
and the driver.
holy.
Unlike the others,
I didn't
the
notice that.
driver is completely black, a shadow. It's such a small visual detail and it's very easy to miss. And I think it's Martin quietly connecting Felix to the Shadow Man.
I'm the
And I
Shadow
don't
Man.
think it's accidental. And that leads us right into Richie's next recording.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it.
Bond will be back on stage by tomorrow. Yeah, Felix set it up himself, so, maybe they worked out the differences after all.
Now, naturally, there's another theory that
Hi,
comes out of all
Volk.
of this.
How
One
you
you've
doing?
probably heard before. Is Bond actually Jack Walton? Honestly, I understand why people believe this. Jack disappears, Bond appears. Jack has every reason in the
Hey,
world to
Tinberg.
hate Felix. On paper, it fits surprisingly well, but I don't think it's true. Because if Bond really was Jack, why would he murder Susan? Why would his own children be terrified of him? To me, that theory creates more questions than it has answers for.
I'm
I
alright,
think
how are
Bond
you?
serves as a completely different role in
But I
this
have
story.
the chair, right?
Not
Working
as
on
Jack,
model
not as
still.
Felix, but as something that feeds off Felix's guilt. Something that has seen an already broken man and pushes him further. Almost like making a deal with the devil. Bond provides this violence. Felix provides the opportunity. But that still leaves one question. Why? Why is Bond doing any of this? Well, I think Bond tells us himself.
Oh, stop doing that.
Eventually become your new body. Just like a beautiful butterfly bursting from a cocoon.
Aw. That's so cute. That's so cute.
He talks about making people beautiful. He believes removing
So it's like
everything
Heather's the
human
musical.
somehow makes
That's okay.
everyone better. But don't mistake that for kindness, because Bond doesn't just kill. He enjoys it. You can hear it in the way he speaks. You can see it in the way he toys with Susan. Whatever Bond's true goal is, it isn't mercy, it's obsession. And unfortunately, Susan isn't his last victim, because 2 weeks later, Bond finds someone else.
Did you watch Walter Files? Look.
Bond isn't finished, not even close. And if my theory is correct, then Felix has already made his choice. He's covering for Bond. The restaurant is still open, people are still showing up for work, and Bond is still hunting.
Oh yeah, we have a birthday party coming up. Birthday party on the no, 14? Yeah, the 14th. We're gonna be using the Billy robot. It's actually the daughter of one of our associates.
On the surface, it seems like just another day at Bond's Burgers, another birthday, another family celebration, another reason to believe everything is finally getting back to normal. But underneath it all, Bond has already chosen his
Hazard,
next
that you wanna join Mike?
Before we get to him, though, there's one small detail.
I was meant to be yours. We were meant to be one. Don't give up on me now. Finish what we've begun. Yes, Heathers. I love Heathers a lot.
Right, we actually have a new one. What's his name? Bobby the Clown. Billy the Clown. Billy, yeah, Billy.
Billie Eilish?
Yeah,
Wow.
just arrived yesterday, actually.
Wow.
I was messing with their little radio thing all day.
I've always found Billy interesting. Not because of anything he does, but because of what he represents. Up until now, Bond's Burgers has leaned into the farm aesthetic. Bond, Banny, Shaw, even Boozoo felt more grounded to fit the original vision. But Billy feels different. He's a carnival clown. And now suddenly there are two carnival-themed characters standing on the stage. It's also ironic that Norman Poultrick sends Felix a clown as their fifth animatronic, maybe reflecting how he feels about Felix at the time. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's Martin visually showing us that the restaurant is slowly becoming against the original vision. Regardless, July 14th belongs to one person, Charles Brooks, the same engineer who built every system inside the animatronics. We know from several flash frames that this is also his daughter's birthday.
How's Lily, by the way?
She's fine. Spending time with her mother for the weekend.
Which somehow makes what will happen next even more heartbreaking.
Veronica, open the door, please. Veronica, open the door. Veronica, can we not go on anymore, please? Can we not fight anymore? Word by word.
714 missing wheel, 714 missing wheel, 714 missing wheel.
We still actually haven't seen his death. Martin has kept this moment from us, but we know what happens here. And strangely, the clues surrounding Charles are very different from Susan's. From the Hotline mini episode, we see Charles's spirit. Something that appears to be scars around his neck can be seen, possibly hinting at the way he died. Then, Bond presents us with another image. One object representing Charles, a doll. Most likely a birthday present for his daughter. And unfortunately, Charles isn't the end of Bond's rampage. He's only the beginning. Because just 5 days later, everything comes to a head. The final night at Bond's Burgers, and in my opinion, this is the single most important night in the entire timeline. There are dozens of tiny details hidden throughout this part of the story. Details that might seem completely unrelated until you start putting them together. So pay close attention.
Доброй ночи.
However, it all culminated on the night of July 19th.
Everything we've talked about so far has been leading to this one night, July 19th, 1974. If you ask me, this is the most important night of the entire timeline, because almost every mystery in the series connects back here. One detail that has always stood out to me is how strangely the restaurant operated that night.
Big bars was open. They only let like 1 or 2 families in. And they mentioned later that the animatronics, like the entertainers, were completely absent and the current closed. Well, that's odd.
Think about that. This is supposed to be a successful family restaurant, and on its final night, only 1 or 2 families are allowed inside. Why? What was Felix trying to hide? Or maybe, who? There's another strange detail hidden in this investigation.
Oh, stop doing that!
They closed after school credits during the stint of the adult woman inside of the restaurant.
However, it all culminated on the night of July 19th. As witnesses state, there were blood-curdling screams of an adult woman heard around 2 to 3 a.m.
Something happened that night. Everyone agrees on that. The problem is, almost no one knows exactly what. Martin gives us just enough pieces for us to start putting the pieces together. So, what actually happened? Well, let's start with Rosemary. By this point, her husband has disappeared. Weeks have passed, nobody has answers. And eventually, she decides to find him herself. She returns to Bond's Burgers, not as an employee, not as an owner, but as a wife looking for her husband. She walks through the empty restaurant searching every room she can until finally, she's led to the backstage.
By the time the lady entered the backstage, as the voice told her to, missing husband wasn't there. Instead, she found a rat.
Hello.
When she woke up,
Все, теперь мотоцикл.
That line has always creeped me out, because Rosemary doesn't decide to go to the backstage on her own. She's guided there. Something or someone wants her to find whatever's waiting behind the curtain. And when she gets there, Jack isn't waiting for her. Bond is. Everything we've learned up to this point, his obsession with beauty, his victims, Wonderland, it all comes together here. Rosemary becomes his next victim. But then Martin shows us something that I don't think a lot of people talk about. Just before Rosemary enters the backstage, we get
Ah, stop.
Sophie, where am I? It's only seen for a moment on screen, but it's definitely intentional. It reminds me of something we've learned all the way back at the beginning. The animatronics have voice mimic technology. They can imitate people, recognize voices, repeat voices. And if that's
On the
true,
highway
it also
instrument.
means this wasn't
Yeah, that's why
random.
my internet is so bad right now.
Everything about
Horror
Rosemary's
vibes.
death
Yeah.
was intentional. But here's where things get interesting. Because I don't think Rosemary came to the restaurant alone. I think Sophie Walton came with her.
Oh.
The biggest piece of evidence comes much later, 8 years later, when adult Sophie plays an arcade machine in episode 3.
Yeah, this is a game I wanted to show you something.
Throughout the episode, we relive the deaths of Ed and Molly, Susan, Rosemary, and everything builds towards Felix's crash
Hey,
reveal
Jen.
at the end.
Meow.
You think
How
you've
you
seen the
doing?
whole story, and then a spirit reminds us that we're missing something.
But that's not all, is it? There's still something you forgot to remember.
Spirit looks like Freddy Fazbear. Daisy. That's me when I was trying to become a person, by the way.
Bond loses. The two children who have been hiding from Bond this whole time finally fight back. They save Sophie. But if she escapes, this creates another mystery. Where did she go? Because after July 19th, Sophie has no parents, no home, no family. And unfortunately, those questions won't be answered for another 8 years.
Animatronic personally is Chica. Don't know, I like Bonnie. Bonnie.
Cynthia kills Sophie.
We don't actually know where Sophie goes immediately after leaving Bond's Burgers. Martin has intentionally left that part of the story blank. But eventually we do find her again, living beneath a hotel, hidden away from the rest of the world. And most importantly, being prescribed a medication.
Oh,
He is so
stop.
sorry about what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie.
Safety and pills. Safety and pills. Sophie.
The purpose of these pills is simple. Forget. Forget Bond's Burgers, forget Jack, forget Rosemary, forget Ed and Molly, forget everything. By the time of episode 3 begins, she isn't searching for the truth. She doesn't even know
Out of the killer before you die yourself.
until one ordinary day she walks into Bunny Farm. And everything starts coming back.
Yeah, when BSI installed these machines, they clarified that as well, but I know you're into that. BSI? Bunny Smiles Incorporated.
Have I heard that name before? You know, something I like about the game is the artwork. I don't know why, but there's something about it that seems really familiar to me.
Because your mom drew it.
For the first time in years, Sophie's memories begin fighting her back.
Your mom drew it, girl.
First, a feeling, a face, a place she's convinced she's seen before, and that's what makes Sophie such an interesting protagonist. She isn't trying to solve a mystery, she's trying to remember one. Every revelation experienced with us, the audience. We're learning the truth at the exact same pace she is. But while Sophie is slowly remembering by looking back, there's another problem. Back on July 19th, Rosemary had just disappeared. Multiple employees had vanished, and the police are beginning to ask questions. Bond's Burgers kept pretending nothing happened, but what did Felix actually do? Well, exactly what he's been doing since the very beginning. He buries the evidence.
Come on, where the hell have you been? Some big happened, right? Look, we're down. What's bad, dude? We're shutting down. We're done. We're done, right?
Finally.
I clocked in last night, right? Some staff were still in the restaurant. 4 in the morning, I get a call from Norman, right, telling me the cops broke into the place, right? Some call about, like, screaming inside the restaurant, but Norman's shutting us down. There is, sorry. The boss came up with a new plan, alright? He hasn't shared it with, Cyberfun yet.
A quick translator, I feel like coming for that.
We gotta take all the...
Wait, is there? What the fuck is that? Is that you? Why is everyone so hostile towards the cameras? What's wrong with the cameras? Damn, the biggest animal core is SNG countries. Post-Soviet Union countries.
This place, and put him in a truck and take him to the storage place somewhere. He didn't say where. It's big money, dude. Right? It'll only take a few days. You in?
Instead of destroying the animatronics, Felix moves them to a massive underground facility hidden deep within St. Juan's forest. And if that location sounds familiar, it should. But at this point, the restaurant is gone and the murders have stopped. But underneath the forest, simply waiting and waiting for someone to open those doors again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the Relocate Project. Start analyzing the Relocate Project by checking what has happened ever since the closure of Bonds 4 years ago. As many of you might have known from previous tapes,
Gishichi? That's basically Walton's files, analog core of the story explained, but to be fair, in my opinion, this video exactly is more for the people who already watched it and already like have some understanding towards the lore, because some of the things are actually not explained at all. Like for example, who's the Sophie? Like if you never watched Walton's Files and never heard about it, you don't know who Sophie is. Sophie is the daughter of the Jack, the dude who disappeared, the dude whose children were killed. Yeah, not the one who killed everybody accidentally, right? So who disappeared himself, right? But the dude, the guy in the video, did not explain anything. So maybe we will find another video explaining the lore. Yes.
Secured in St. Juana's storage facility some months after the restaurant's closure.
Context the Discord of the stream.
The brilliant idea of restore and reprogram
I don't think so.
with the purpose of relocating them in a new restaurant that would be opened in a not so distant.
It's an Alcor, Walton Files.
Smart plan, right?
Looking at it.
Give it up for Felix Kranken, a man with not only a giant brain but also a giant heart.
Eventually, Felix makes the decision that honestly makes very little sense. He wants to reopen Bond's Burgers. Not the original restaurant, but the characters, the brand, the showstoppers. He begins with what becomes known
If you want
as
to watch
the
this is the video.
relocation project. 3 engineers are sent to the abandoned bunker. Their job is simple: repair the animatronics. There's just one problem. We already know what's waiting for them. One engineer decides to wander off on their own. Going from room to room, we find stuff all over Bond's Burgers history. And at the center of one of the rooms, it's Rocket. It seems maybe Bond wasn't a fan of their last attempt to meddle with his plan.
Hi, Rocket.
And then the engineer makes a mistake. She turns on the Billy robot.
Don't mention it to me.
Charles, Rosemary, Sophie.
Creating a blast of music all over the bunker. And after everything we've learned about Bond, you already know how this ends. Bond hasn't changed. If anything, he's just become more dangerous. Because unlike everyone else, Bond hasn't had 8 years to move on. He's had 8 years to wait.
Gishi,
Billy is
you
still
can have
empty.
cheeseburger.
Sophie escaped.
Thank you so much for the
Bond never
cheese. Got that.
finished what he
Cheers.
started. After finishing one engineer, he goes for the second who ran outside, where we are given this message.
Thank you. Oi.
But we're going to do a secondary test because the console seems to have...
Yeah, we'll watch the some different video for sure. This one does not explain that much.
That line answers a question that's been hanging over this entire story. Bond isn't hunting random people at this point. He's only hunting Sophie.
Come on, hello, how you doing?
The one victim he never managed to make beautiful. The story was never finished. He still has one final victim to claim.
Rosemary? No, Sophie.
But a thing
the daughter.
Beautiful because it lasts.
How you doing?
And
Come on.
that finally brings us to today. From 2 best friends chasing an impossible dream, to a family torn apart by tragedy, to disappearances, murders, and whatever Bond truly is. But despite everything we've uncovered, the Walton Files is far from finished. In fact, I think the biggest questions are still ahead of us. Who is Bond? Who is he before Wonderland? What happened to Jack Walton? But it's important to step back and remember it's all connected. And we don't have the full picture yet. Because if you step back, something interesting starts to happen. Because you realize the story was never about Bond, or Felix, or Jack. It's always been about Sophie. For nearly a decade, Felix was able to bury the truth, lock it away beneath St. Juan's forest, pretend none of it ever existed. But secrets don't stay buried forever, especially not in the Walton Files. Because now, Sophie remembers. She knows what happened. She knows
she remembered?
who Bond is hunting, and for the first time, she has a chance to uncover what really happened to her father. Make sure you subscribe.
Okay, let's see if there is better video explanation of the lore. Let's see. I have all the videos in Russian for some reason. Brother. Okay, there's again Russian. Oh, breakdown. Oh wait, but it's a film, I think. Oh no, I think it's not a film. Oh good, it's actually. Oh, good. Oh, I have 2 minutes already watched. Okay.
The moment you've all been waiting for has finally arrived. This is the longest video on my channel dedicated to a single series, and also the one that took me the most time and effort to complete. Because this isn't just another analysis. This is my personal tribute to one of the greatest analog horror series ever created, and one of my all-time favorites,
it's actually really good.
The Walton Files. A deeply unsettling story that drags us into a decaying world where every main character faces tragedy in one form or another. A series with incredible attention to detail, and while it may have drawn some initial inspiration from Five Nights at Freddy's, the similarities end there. These two stories couldn't be more different. The Walton Files presents a carefully crafted narrative universe where every image, every glitch, and every line of dialogue hides something deeper. Like I mentioned before, I truly didn't expect this video to take so long to finish, but I promise you, the wait was worth it. So don't forget to drop your precious like and subscribe to help the channel grow and reach more people. Every like is one more coin to escape poverty. And if you're not sure what to comment, just type meow in the comment section and I'll leave you a heart in return. Comments are incredibly important and help the video a lot. So don't forget to leave yours. I'm not a big fan of setting like or comment goals, but go ahead and surprise me and I'll bring you the full breakdown of the non-canon episodes of the Walton Files as soon as possible. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who responded to the pinned comment in the last video and for the incredible support you always give me. Remember, if you'd like to be featured in the next video, make sure to reply to the pinned comment where you'll find this question. What do you think happened to Jack Walton? A ton of you responded to the question from the last video, so if you'd like to skip this part, just jump to the timestamp that's now showing on screen.
Kimchi.
Welcome to the Walton Files Ultimate Breakdown.
Hi.
Company introductory tape is the very first episode of the Walton Files, a compilation of 3 tapes that introduce the public to Bunny Smiles Incorporated and Bond's Burgers for the very first time. But they also plunge us into the strange and eerie events surrounding both entities. Before diving into the actual video, the description already gives us some interesting context. It includes a message from someone named
What volition accepted the body is an object breaks down to what good you can with yours before the rest goes to. Holy shit. Is it from the game that you're playing right now?
Anthony, which reads,
"This is a compilation of tapes created by the already extinct Bunny Smiles company. I tried to get as much info as I could about what these tapes are. All I could find was that these tapes were handed to new employees back in 1974, 1979.
Yep.
The rest of the tapes seem
That's actually a good line.
Hopefully I can find more tapes soon."
Things start off strangely, just as you'd expect. Before the first tape even begins, we see a brief shot of a rabbit wandering through a forest. Then it cuts to the actual intro video, a corporate training tape meant to welcome new support and maintenance technicians at BSI, Bunny Smiles Incorporated. We're given an overview of what to expect from our new job, our responsibilities, and how to properly handle company equipment. Soon after, we're introduced to Bond's Burgers, a family-friendly fast food restaurant with an entertainment area for kids, headlined by a group of animatronic performers known as the Showstoppers, Bond, Shaw, Buzu, and Banny. The narrator explains our role as a facility caretaker, listing duties such as cleaning protocols, robot maintenance
Cleaning?
and repairs,
No.
and how to operate company tech. However, something odd happens. When the narrator mentions robot maintenance and repairs, his voice suddenly drops in pitch. It's subtle, but definitely unsettling. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it almost feels like a hint. Like there's something very wrong with these animatronics.
I'm back. Welcome
Next,
back,
we're shown the
Paluchka.
founders of the company, Jack Walton
Oh yeah,
and
didn't you
Felix
say that you're
Kranken,
actually gonna have
along with a short
Paluchka
message from
today?
the two of them. It's a warm and cheerful moment, one that starkly contrasts
I know the
what
day
comes
was
next.
hard for
The
you, as you
narrator
said,
then
but
announces that Bond's Burgers
did
will be
something good
opening
like
in a
this
few
happen
weeks,
at least?
and that they're excited to make their dreams come true with you. But suddenly, the tape becomes corrupted. We see a cartoon version of Bond glitching alongside distorted footage. What follows is an instructional segment on the K9 storage facility located in Santa Juana Forest. This facility is used to store valuable
got
items
it.
from Bond's
Nice.
Burgers, which,
We
believe it or
can eat
not,
good today.
was permanently shut down in the very same year it opened due to certain incidents that occurred there. Then the screen fades to black,
Premium
and a
CS:GO.
cartoon drawing of a gray rabbit appears.
Good
A
one.
character whose identity we'll learn about later. The rabbit says something, but the audio is reversed. If we flip it, here's
Хорошо,
what we
когда так
get.
откликается.
You finally start to remember. Back all day. They will be back for you soon. Sophie.
As we'll see throughout the series, these interruptions weren't part of the original tape. What we're witnessing is the appearance of an unknown entity that distorts and hijacks the footage to send a message to someone named Sophie, a key character we'll meet later on. The second tape in this first video takes the form of an episode from a 1979 children's show called Little Bond's Neighborhood, produced by the same company. The episode is titled Bond's Super Sleepover and was made
Super
by Sunlight Animation.
sleepover? Man, I love
Little Bond is planning a
sleepover.
sleepover and movie night with his friends, Shaw, Buzu, and a new character we've never seen before, a clown named Billy. But something strange happens. As Bond checks his guest list, Billy's face suddenly vanishes and is replaced by a distorted image of Jack Walton. The background darkens and Bond's eyes disappear. A curious detail here is that even though Bond says he's invited all his friends, Banny is nowhere to be seen. Later tapes will reveal that Bond actually finds the animatronic rabbit's personality irritating and stressful. The cartoon shifts back to a cheerful tone, and Bond's friends arrive at his house. He gets ready to play a fun movie he bought.
Yeah,
However,
that's
the
okay.
VHS cover
Alright,
is
that's
anything
okay.
but fun.
Don't worry about
It
me.
shows Jack Walton's face along with an upside-down title that seems to read Home Video. Then we see Bond and the others watching the film, but instead of a movie, the screen shows a cryptic message. Let me out of here. There's also a bottle of
Oh,
pills next
there
to the
it
TV
is.
prescribed to
I found
Sophie
Lex.
Walton, the name mentioned earlier by the Grey Rabbit, Jack Walton's eldest daughter. The tape glitches again. When it resumes, the characters are in their sleeping bags. Bond wakes up after hearing strange noises coming from the kitchen and decides to investigate. As he glances toward the living room, the TV turns on by itself, displaying a missing person poster, Jack Walton, who vanished under mysterious circumstances on June 11th, 1974. All of this happens while distorted sounds and faint cries echo in the background. Bond finds a lighter on the floor and tries to ignite it several times, until he finally does. But in that exact moment, it vanishes, and instead, we see Sophie dressed in a Bunny Smiles maintenance uniform. Behind her, the Bond animatronic, worn out, torn, and riddled with holes, stares at her in a chilling silence. The footage cuts abruptly, jumping straight to the third and final tape. This one revolves around Brian Stells, a new facility caretaker sent in 1982 to the old Bunny Smiles K9 storage facility. He explains that he's recording everything as part of company protocol and mentions having been driving around for 20 minutes, completely lost, trying to find the place. Brian finally arrives. The facility has been inactive since the late 70s. Inside, he comes across 3 photos. One of Felix Kranken, one of a group of employees, and another of 2 young children, Jack Walton's other kids, Ed and Molly. Soon, a terrible stench fills the room.
I need to see
Brian
more
then discovers
women's
something else.
thighs, I
The old,
believe.
severely damaged Bond animatronic. He tries using a remote
Hey,
control
John,
to
my
test
daughter
if
still.
it still works,
Hi,
noticing that
Yitz,
the
how you
left arm
doing?
appears to be broken. But suddenly, everything is interrupted when Bond starts moving on its own and laughing maniacally.
Oi.
Why you not drinking, huh? You wanna die?
I got scared with the freaking white noise that was happening in the video. I got scared. Thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, Walton Files. Yeah. I got scared. Not closed at all. I mean, I know what's gonna happen, but don't spoil everyone.
What follows is a short CGI animation of a white human mask, morphing and shifting shapes. This is most likely Bond's facial recognition system attempting to identify Brian. The final scene shows Brian's lifeless body on the ground as two phrases appear on screen. I can't feel anything, and he thought I was her. But who is her? You might remember the earlier scene where Sophie appears wearing a maintenance uniform. What we're seeing here is likely a reinterpretation of what we just witnessed.
Her new child.
This time,
She's not new child though.
He's confusing
Already for a long
Brian
time
to
ago.
Sophie,
You know
an
Uma.
unsettling question. Why does Bond want to kill Sophie? Finally, we see Brian Stell's ID card, followed by a photo of Jack.
Never hydration where we're supposed to spooky. Yeah. When you redeem hydration, I get so spooked up that I sweat out every inch of the water that you actually prescribed to hydrate me with.
Jack Walton, one that's sure to send chills down your spine.
Uma. Umari. Her name is
Softly in the background.
Umari.
Considering everything we've seen so far and the story this series draws inspiration from, many might think Jack Walton's spirit is trapped inside the Bond animatronic. But things are far more complicated than that. I've prepared an exclusive section in this video to explore this in depth. Jack Walton is one of the most mysterious characters in the Walton Files, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No.
The second episode in the series, titled Relocate Project, presents us with a new compilation of tapes related to the relocation efforts for Bond's Burgers. But before diving into the analysis, we're once again greeted with a message from Anthony.
This is another compilation of tapes from Bunny Smiles Incorporated. I was able to contacting people via forums and threads that have some information of the company. These tapes revolve around some relocation project that was being executed during the late 70s. A BSI ex-employee mentioned that these tapes were really private, and only a few people had a copy of them. Once the company vanished during the early 80s, all tapes regarding the project were banned and destroyed. These are super rare, and I'm really lucky to have them.
The first tape outlines the plans to relocate Bond's Burgers 4 years after the original restaurant
Sounds very huge.
Why you not drinking, huh? You wanna die?
Yeah, the videos is funny. It's the same with the merchandise for the digital circus. Thank you for the hydrate again. Yes, again. Gelga, thank you so much for the streak. Thank you so much for the watch streak. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you dearly.
4. The narrator explains that the relocation project was a backup plan devised by Felix Kranken, and it took 4 years of legal procedures to make it happen. Through an 8-bit animation, we see the animatronics and props being moved to a storage facility deep within the Santa Juana forest, something we already knew. In the animation, a worker is seen loading supplies onto a truck, and as the screen darkens, it's revealed that the driver is none other than Jack Walton. The narrator goes on to say that several products were created based on the animatronics: books, merchandise, animated films, and a children's TV show. One of these, as you may have guessed, was Little Bond's Neighborhood,
But
which
so
became
much
a massive
there.
success. But what really stands out is a VHS
much
tape box
fun
among
of the alcohol
merchandise
stream.
titled The Disappearance of Jack
But I will
Walton.
still hydrate
The
just with
narrator
normal water
continues, saying
though.
that the success of these products inspired Felix to restore the animatronics and reopen a brand new Bond's Burgers in 1982. He even praises Felix, showing a cartoon version of him surrounded by happy kids. But then something unsettling happens. As the narrator says, a man with not only a giant brain, but also a giant heart. The video cuts to a dark, silent image of Jack Walton, smiling. It's clear, something went very, very wrong between these two. The second tape documents the
They just
reprogramming process
weren't
of the
able to share the
animatronics
lane
to
and
update
Dota.
and
That's
prepare
okay.
them for
Happens.
the grand reopening. The first phase involves programming facial expressions, and Banny is used as the example. The narrator explains that the results should be similar for the rest of the animatronics. First, she opens and closes her mouth, a function that already existed. Then, a new feature is added, blinking. Banny is said to use these expressions to convey emotions or to look for friends, referring to customers. But as she looks around, the background fades to black, and a haunting face overlays her own, strongly suggesting that Banny is being possessed by a human soul. The scene changes. Banny is now in a square room with 3 doors. She tries to open each one, but no matter which she chooses, she always ends up back in the same place.
I'm back
is
in a
heard saying
fucking
that
mines.
she's trapped in a cage, and that she needs to get the owner's
Shots
attention.
comes mineral water.
The voice
No.
repeats over and over.
Maybe someday, okay.
Eventually, Banny gives up. She stands silently in the center of the room, black tears streaming from her eyes, just like we saw with Bon. Then the video shifts again to black and white footage of wild jackrabbits running through an open field, with Lacrimosa playing in the background. This moment is important,
Yeah, she
so
drinks
keep it in
it.
mind.
No,
One of the future
please.
episodes in the Walton Files shares the
Don't do
same
this
name.
to me.
What we're seeing here is a historical event, a
No
massive
energy drink.
jackrabbit hunt
Are you
during the Dust Bowl.
serious?
The
You're
Dust Bowl was a
crazy.
series of devastating dust storms in the 1930s that hit the Midwest United States,
Crazy.
triggered
You're
by severe
crazy.
drought, poor farming practices, and strong winds. It destroyed millions of acres of farmland, turned soil into dust, and forced countless families to abandon their land. But that's not all. During the Dust Bowl, something strange happened. Massive plagues of jackrabbits. With no natural predators left and the ecosystem disrupted, their population exploded. With crops dying from the drought, jackrabbits fed on whatever was left, destroying the remaining food supply. Desperate, starving farmers began organizing mass jackrabbit hunts. Hundreds of people gathered to corral them into cages and kill them with sticks or firearms. There was nothing
Day
left,
out tomorrow
and
night.
the jackrabbits became just another threat to their survival. Back in the present, we now see the worn, damaged version of Banny as she looks today. The image darkens, leaving only her silhouette against a black background. Her face slowly moves closer to the screen until it's replaced by an image of a purple rabbit trapped inside a bird cage.
Oh my god, sure. Shh.
Finally, we see a
Don't
barely
say that.
visible missing person poster. It belongs to Susan Woodings, the lead technician at Bunny Smiles. And just like that, we learn the identity of the soul trapped inside the Banny animatronic. What we've just witnessed is a representation of the suffering that Susan is enduring within the animatronic, trying again and again to escape and call for help, but always failing. Trapped in a cold metal cage from which there is no way out.
Aw.
The third
That
tape
is
takes
shitty,
the form of a
actually.
tutorial for support technicians
Imagine having
working
a
at
life
the
like
K9
this.
storage facility. Our guide is Shaw, who reminds us that we must always wear the official Bunny Smiles uniform and carry an employee ID card. Her explanation is suddenly cut off as the screen briefly flashes Brian Stell's ID card. When things return to normal, we see Shaw helping little Bon get ready to enter the facility,
Aw, little
making sure he has the
Bon.
following items: a flashlight, a snack, a key, and a camera. However, just as Bond turns to the viewer to introduce the last
Я
item,
пила
the background
мартини
darkens,
с
and we see Jack
энергосом
Walton's
торнадо.
face peeking out from inside Bond's backpack. Once inside the facility, Shaw warns us to remember the rooms we passed through, as it's easy to get lost. When leaving the break room, a shadow that appears vaguely human
Я очень
flashes
долго не
across the
пила.
screen.
Мне неинтересно
Shaw
было.
enters the storage area and begins explaining the purpose of each section, but she's suddenly interrupted when she reaches the third door. And let me tell you now, nothing good lies behind that third door. In the main storage room, Shaw says something in reverse. When the audio is flipped, we hear the following story.
Rosemary would go to the restaurant every night hoping that his beloved husband would reappear after being missing for weeks, but no response until one day she heard a voice saying, "I know where she is, Rosie," coming from the back.
Expired beer. I was not drunk, guys, and I'm just trying to make my friends happy and trying to make the atmosphere light and fun. This is what it was, trust me. I was not drunk in the slightest, trust me. My head hurt because, again, I was screaming a lot and the beer was expired, so I'm pretty sure it was not really good for me. But yeah, trust me. You never saw me drunk yet.
After this eerie moment, Shaw asks us to follow her into the animatronic storage room. She warns us not to touch them or shine light on them unless we're certified technicians. But then Shaw returns to the storage room crying and remembering in horror that she's been in that room before. She tries to go back to the previous room, but the strange black silhouette appears again, blocking her path. The scene becomes distorted, red hues filling the screen as Shaw sobs even harder. We see her again in the storage room, now whispering. Her body begins flickering back and forth between her own and that of another woman, Rosemary.
Music makes everyone happy, but right now you're a sad vibe.
Rosemary, and the name Sophie.
The only beer that I have is again the beer with the, not just beer, like, but the beer with the flavor, you know, like esse, right? So it's not just a beer. I don't want to say right now, and it's expired as well. The only alcohol I'm having right now is expired. I don't want to drink expired alcohol again. I don't wanna.
Is repeated over and over in reverse. Rosemary finally appears on screen as Shaw's voice continues narrating the story we heard earlier, and we are now shown the grotesque and horrifying fate of this poor woman.
And before it appears, but I'm addicted to cola and such. Cola is nice. I mean, some sugar is always good, in my opinion. We all need sugar. Something expired in. It just happened to be the only thing I had.
When she woke up, she looked beautiful. But on the inside,
it's a lesson then. I will still do that.
Let me give you some context.
I still have the expired beer in my refrigerator. I cannot throw it away, guys. I cannot.
Rosemary was Jack Walton's wife and the mother of Sophie,
Fermented.
Edward, and Molly Walton. She was an
Yes,
extremely
yes.
loving woman, but also intimidating when necessary. She adored her children with all her heart. However, after Jack's disappearance,
Throw it away.
she completely
No,
changed.
I can't buy
She
the
became
new
sad,
one.
depressed, and extremely overprotective. From that point on, Rosemary started visiting the restaurant every night, hoping Jack would come back. But one night, she heard a voice
Is it too
calling
short or
out,
okay?
saying
I
it
think
knew where her
that
husband
just
was,
right, right?
and
Just
asking
right.
her to follow.
Just
She did.
right.
But when Rosemary entered the backstage, she didn't find Jack.
Back rooms?
She found the infamous Bond animatronic. And in that very room, reserved for employees
Мать
only,
забрала, мне нету
Bond
ском.
brutally ended her
В
life.
смысле, ты должен ее
Her
выбрать?
remains were later placed inside the Shaw animatronic.
If you choose emotion for the redeem points, you need to choose the emote that you want to unlock, if I remember correctly. It will not get magically unexpired. Yes, I cannot buy the new beer. Therefore, actually, они она отдельная. Ну, то есть ты выбираешь по итогу, да? Я просто забыла, я один раз это просто делала и как-то все.
Possessing it in the process.
Где накладки? Ну, а тут меня
And now
позвали
we
с
reach the
камером, за
fourth
ни
and
на
final
что
tape in the
просто.
second installment
Я
of
даже
the
еще
series.
казино не
This footage was
рекламировала, я уже
recorded
с
by three
камершем.
Bunny Smiles
Ё-моё.
technicians who volunteered to spend 3 days and nights inside the facility to reprogram the animatronics, Hillary, Ashley, and Kevin. Once inside, they find the deteriorated versions of Shaw and Bon and begin discussing whether it's still possible to repair them for the relocation project. Hillary believes the damage is too severe.
What's so
but more
bad about
importantly,
that
she
one
suspects
though?
someone intentionally damaged them. As the group prepares to sleep, Ashley mentions they were given a small key by the company, but no explanation as to what it's for. She wants to investigate, but the others insist they should focus on fixing the animatronics. The next morning, Kevin summarizes the project and admits that it was a failure. The animatronics are far too damaged, and they simply don't have the time or resources to repair them. He asks the company for an extension. Meanwhile, Ashley secretly starts a new recording. She's determined to figure out what the key unlocks, believing it might be the only way to save the project. Eventually, she discovers that the key opens a door labeled Back Doors, which leads to multiple hidden rooms. Inside, she finds replacement parts,
for a beer.
detached
Oh
heads,
my god.
and a strange gray rabbit.
What's so bad about
Yes,
expired
the
beer?
same one we saw in the very first tape. But the most important moment comes when Ashley enters the final room. There, she finds the Billy animatronic. Something about it deeply unsettles her, so she decides not to approach. Instead, she notices a strange tape dated June 11th from some year in the 1970s.
Spoiled I think is different.
She inserts it into the player built into Billy.
I
The
recently
birthday
ate
song
expired
plays
shashlik.
before
I
suddenly
almost
cutting off.
died.
And then a list of names is spoken: Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, and Sophie. Suddenly, Ashley's flashlight dies. When she finally gets it working again, Bon is standing right in front of her.
Hi. Oi. She
A
died.
brief message flashes on screen explaining what happened the next morning after Ashley's death. They left the next day. They thought Ashley left early, but she was in the back doors, screaming as much as she could. But no one heard the screams. The following days, the caretakers would complain about an awful smell coming from the back doors. The company decided to shut down the facility until new advice. The relocate project was unsuccessful. Ashley is still there, but she's not screaming anymore. She saw something she wasn't supposed to see.
Ooh.
And now, she is beautiful. Once the credits finish, a voice is heard whispering,
Jeremy sent it expired 3 years ago, so I didn't heard it. Ironically, right now, because of the stress, basically, I told you already, like, my tummy hurts, because of the stress a lot, right? And because of this, like, I'm drinking the pills for the medicine for the, like, hurty tummy, right? And it's expired actually this month as well. To be fair, I don't know how bad it is with that case, but a month ago, like, it shouldn't be bad, right? It's like it's not like it's a year. And I think with medicine, the most that could happen is just not gonna work on you with medicine.
and then we're shown an image of Bunny Farm, a video game that will play a major role in the third part of this series. The showstoppers stand in front of a barn, but behind a tree, a mysterious figure watches from the distance.
It's someone's mama.
Lucky You is a hidden video from the Relocate project, which can only be accessed by piecing together the two parts of a secret link shown throughout the second episode. The tape begins innocently enough, with the classic Bon's Burgers logo, but what follows is a visual journey through key dates. Fragments of history told through images. The restaurant opened its doors on June 28, 1974, and the first birthday party held inside took place just 2 days later, on June 30th. Then, between July 10th and 19th, the final shows were performed before the restaurant permanently shut down on July 20th. By October 31st, the restaurant is seen abandoned and boarded up. On December 10th, we're shown the K9 storage facility. Later, on June 23, 1975, the animatronics are transported to this Bon's Burgers storage location, and finally, we're shown a curious date, June 11th, 1974, a date before the grand opening. And yet, nothing is shown. The screen remains empty.
Bing, bing. I'm wondering if the poison will make a person feel better or if I won't work. Huh? I mean, poison depends on... If you're a Mao Mao, pretty sure the poison will be good for you. the childhood when I was 4 or 5, we drank juice from the cardboard package. It was opened like yesterday, and fucking cockroach was in it. Ugh. It was in our mouth for a second. I stopped drinking peach juice for like 15 years. Understandable. I would do the same. Holy shit. Yeah.
Then, the mysterious figure we briefly saw earlier, lurking behind the trees, finally speaks. From now on, we'll refer to this character as Show Bear.
Show Bear? Show Mama?
You must be so confused about what you saw. Don't be scared, my little bunny. Answers will be given eventually.
Don't be scared, my little bunny. Aww, I feel groomed.
This is only the
Aww.
beginning, for I'm going to tell you a story of broken people, beautiful people. He is so sorry about what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that. Safety and pills, Sophie. 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 Safety and pills,
Bitch.
Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills.
Okay, what's happened? What happened?
Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie.
Just as he begins to talk, his voice is abruptly cut off by a loud, distorted version of Heartaches. At this moment, the soul trapped inside the Bond animatronic makes its presence known.
What?
I
Oi.
made them beautiful. I don't know how. I didn't even mean to.
Oh, in the original it was not audio, by the way. He's written it for you.
They try to talk to
Say
us.
thank you.
Through analog, they will be heard. This is their cry for help. Besides, they want us to know what happened that year. But we must be patient.
Sitter bra sådär, så ja, vi kan inte bli för stream. Oh.
They are filled with life.
Don't worry about it. It's
They
okay.
dance to the music.
Hatsune Miku brother, Hali! Brother, how you doing? How you doing? We'll make them beautiful.
From this,
Let's make
several
this
things become clear.
beautiful.
First, and in case it wasn't already obvious, Bon is being possessed by a sadistic, psychopathic killer who is obsessed with murdering certain people to make them beautiful. Just like him. The line, "They will see you soon, Sophie," is not just a chilling remark.
Or
It's a
not with
direct
Bros?
threat.
Ready or
As
not?
we've seen
What is that?
before, one of Bond's
Sure
primary
about that?
goals seems to be ending Sophie's life,
Don't worry.
though his true motives remain unknown. Meanwhile, the lines, "Through analog they will be heard," and "This is their cry for help," confirm what we previously suggested during the appearance of that gray rabbit at the beginning. The victims are trying to reach out through the tapes and similar analog formats, altering and distorting them as a way to make their stories known. We've seen this several times throughout the series already, and we'll keep seeing it again and again, because it's their only way to ask for help. Bunny Farm is the third installment of the Walton Files, and just like the previous main episodes of the series,
That's
Anthony
quite
is
a
back
British
with something
connection.
to say.
God.
The following footage is about a 1980s video game created by the company. Reason it took me so long to get
После видоса.
because the game never really released to the public, and all footage available was from the beta version of the video game. During October 1982, a few test Bunny Farm machines were distributed around Brighton, Michigan, the city where Bonds opened in June 28, 1974. This footage was from the arcade machine sent to Anfern Hotel. The two girls playing the game seem to have lived there. The particular thing about these machines was that all footage from the game was recorded and then revised by BSI technicians to see if the game was ready to be published. This was one of them and
Yes and no.
remaining of this game. The footage itself
Yes, no, maybe so.
extremely corrupted, however, and it took me weeks to be able to piece everything together with the help of a friend of mine, but I'm glad you've all been patient for this. Seems to be a huge one anyways.
As you just heard, this episode is based on the recording of a gameplay session from a rare beta version of the Bunny Farm video game. And it also marks the first time we meet Sophie Walton and her girlfriend Jenny Letterson, who both live at the Enfront Hotel, the location that received one of these test versions of the game.
So like,
the first recording takes place on October 15th, 1982, starting with the Bunny Smiles game's
Like,
logo
is she hello
and
at us?
a
How you
warning
doing?
indicating the game is still in beta.
Welcome.
One brilliant little
How are
detail
you?
is the main menu theme. It's literally Morse code for SOS,
Oh,
but set to a
really?
rhythm. Once again,
Oh,
the souls of the
I didn't
victims seem
notice
to be
so.
interfering, crying out for help.
That's cool. Kihi. Kihi.
Jenny, already familiar with the game, decides to show it to Sophie. So Sophie creates
Girlfriend,
a
what the
new
fuck is
save
that? What do you
file
mean?
and starts playing. The opening scene of the game introduces us to animated versions of
Fish from
Bon,
work and feel
Shaw,
fresh.
Uzi,
Nice.
and
Feel fresh
Banny
after the
as
work
they
is a
prepare for the
blast,
fruit
right?
festival. However,
Good job today.
they've forgotten to bring any fruit, putting the whole festival at risk of being cancelled.
No,
Luckily,
not
Pete the Hippo offers
cancelled.
to help if the others agree to run
No.
some errands for him on his farm. And that's the premise of the game. Everyone agrees, except for Billy, who suddenly appears,
Billie
screaming
Eilish?
his own name out of nowhere, and
Billie
with no context.
Eilish. I
Just
knew
before
she's
the
a
gameplay
villain all
starts, we catch a
along.
glimpse of the same shadowy figure we've seen appear in the background of previous episodes. Once the gameplay begins, Jenny teaches Sophie how to control the main character, Bon. She mentions that she's played it quite a bit and has noticed the game feels very unfinished and glitchy. Visual bugs, crashes, strange behavior, which might be expected in a beta version. However, Jenny points out that these glitches are particularly disturbing, and she wanted to show them to Sophie because she knows she's into that sort of thing. As they explore,
My
they
girlfriend
come
is
across a
quirky like
memorial
that.
statue dedicated to Bobby the Hippo, described as the original owner of the farm and father of Pete and Johnny. His birth and death dates are listed as older year and other year. This is an obvious reference to Jack Walton. While Jenny is talking about how bizarre and broken the game feels, Sophie suddenly interrupts her to ask about
What are there the
BSI, saying
closest?
the name
I
sounds
don't know.
familiar. That's already strange,
Why ask her?
considering her own
Ask
father
Walter.
is one of the company's founders. Even more unsettling,
Oh.
throughout the tape, Sophie doesn't seem to recognize any of the animatronics. Something's clearly off, right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, though some of you probably already know where this is heading. Jenny explains that BSI was recently in the
Jenny
news
from the
after an
Blackpink?
employee
Oh
named Brian Stells
man.
vanished without a trace.
Wow.
She also mentions another worker who supposedly died in an old company bunker. Some say she was secretly buried there, while others believe her body was never removed. These are cases we've discussed before. As they talk about all this, we briefly see Showbear and the Grey Rabbit silently watching Sophie from afar. Clearly disturbed by the topic, Sophie tries to change the subject and launches Billy's minigame instead. During the loading screen, Sophie once again comments on how familiar everything feels. Fragments of memories flash in her mind, but nothing is clear. Everything is just a blur. Eventually, Jenny tells Sophie she has to leave to finish an essay, leaving Sophie alone in the hotel's basement with the game. And that's when things start getting seriously disturbing. All the glitches and distortions in Billy's minigame seem to be connected to Ashley Parks, which makes perfect sense, since Ashley is the one possessing the clown animatronic. The glitches grow more and more
Ashley?
unsettling,
I thought
making
different
Sophie
woman was.
increasingly nervous
Oh.
and uncomfortable. The game becomes nearly unplayable, and at one point, we briefly spot two completely red figures in the top left corner of the screen, figures whose true identity will become clearer later on. In the middle of her panic, Sophie bumps into the Grey Rabbit, and the game crashes completely. Shaken and disturbed, she decides to stop playing. For now. The next recording takes place the following day. We're made aware of this as the Grey Rabbit's face slowly appears onto the screen. Then we see the Bunny Farm title screen, while Jenny asks Sophie what happened the day before. Sophie simply says the game crashed and showed her some extremely strange visuals, almost like it was trying to tell her something. Jenny, a bit confused, jokes by asking if Sophie thinks the game is haunted, but quickly admits that something similar happened to her too. Since Sophie is playing the game at night, Jenny suggests they wait until morning to play together, but Sophie just can't get the
VTuber
game out of
show
her head.
flat because
She
she's into
insists on
the
staying
yes.
and playing alone, telling
Yes.
Jenny she can go rest if she wants. After saying goodbye, Sophie enters the
Yes.
save file selection screen, but when she tries to load her game, the screen glitches, showing an error message stating that the save data has been corrupted. It warns that continuing might lead to unknown errors, or even a complete shutdown of the arcade machine. Despite the warning, Sophie refuses to start over, especially if it means replaying what she calls that clown level. So, she decides to keep going, right from where she left off. At one point, Sophie returns to the statue she had seen before, but this time, a completely new message flashes across the screen in the blink of an eye. He promised to take care of the 2 kids during that day. He told the parents that everything was okay. It's sad that we can't really remember you, Sophie, but soon we'll be together forever and ever. Rest in peace, the 2 lovely red children. May 15th, 1962 to May 2nd, 1974. August 22nd, 1965 to May 2nd, 1974. This message references one of the most tragic events in the entire series and the 2 red figures we saw earlier, but you'll have to wait a bit longer to fully understand this. Eventually, after wandering around for a while, Sophie enters Banny's minigame. In it, Banny, known for her hyperactive, fun-loving, but not so bright personality, disobeys a character named Holly, who appears as a mare. Just because she thinks it's funny, Banny releases 3 pigs that had been locked up. These pigs run off toward the hippo's house, and Sophie's mission is to find them. Several unsettling things happen during this segment, things that are easy to miss at first glance. For instance, there's a brief appearance of Susan Woodings's face on the right side of the hippo's house. There's also a moment where the Bond animatronic can be seen hiding behind some trees, eventually replaced by a white figure wearing a straw hat, standing next to a missing person poster for Jack Walton.
Так, тихо, не прикалывайтесь насчет этого,
It's the
ребят.
soul inside Bond. The key clue here is the straw hat, which directly connects it to the Bond we see in the game. If that doesn't sound convincing yet, don't worry. It'll all become clearer very soon. The game starts in a living room, where we see 2 hippo children, Johnny the hippo, Banny, and Holly. At the back of the room are 3 doors, each one secured with a lock. 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 red.
Oh shit.
But one of the strangest details is in the lower right corner. A table with a lamp and a bottle of pills. A clear reference to Sophie's medication shown at the beginning of the series. After finding the blue key, Sophie unlocks the blue door, which leads her into a dark room with multiple exits. This is the same room from the Walton Files 2, where Banny was previously trapped. Sophie, confused, wanders around aimlessly, until the shadowy figure reappears and makes contact with her. Suddenly, she's back in the original room, but now things have changed. The hippo kids now have no eyes, and they're completely still. Johnny is gone, the pill bottle is cracked open, and Banny doesn't move at all. Sophie notices that the red key has suddenly appeared in the upper right corner of the room, next to a photo of Felix Kranken. When she picks it up, Banny's face shifts into a disturbingly strange expression. Sophie walks through the red door, which leads her to a room with a moving conveyor belt, blocking her from reaching the pig on the other side. In order to proceed, she has to solve the puzzle beneath her feet. As she works on it, Sophie remarks that the glitches keep appearing in a very specific way, almost as if something, or someone, is trying to communicate with her. Once she solves it, the screen shows Bond, Banny, Shaw, Billy, and, hidden behind them, the gray rabbit. The image then cuts to a bloodied version of Banny's animatronic face, and then to the employees-only door at Bond's Burgers, the very place where Sophie's mother died. Although, she might not be the only one who met their end in that room. All of this leads to an audio log from Susan Woodings, the person who now inhabits Banny's animatronic body.
BSI Technical Support Audio Log number 3, June 30th, 1974. Jeremy's birthday party finished an hour ago. I decided to stay and help the employees clean the place. This week has been strange, especially because of the opening. I find it weird that they opened the place even though Mr. Walton disappeared a few weeks ago. I hope he's doing alright. Rosemary came in today and asked if we'd seen him around. I'm pretty worried about it. Felix seems very concerned and worried too.
Burger.
Yes. Everything went according to plan.
Burger.
This was the first
Burger.
birthday party in the restaurant, and I feel it turned out pretty well. I noticed a few
Burger.
irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics. As the engineer and the person who basically built the animatronics to begin with, it was easier to notice these, especially in Bond. Something fell off. The limbs weren't moving properly. They looked stiff and odd, mainly in his right arm. It took a few more minutes to take him to backstage, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm the only one left. Chris left some hours ago, and Felix didn't even show up. I'll leave and close the restaurant when I'm finished. I'm sure it's not going to take long.
Wait.
What follows is a mini-game showing how Susan died inside the employees-only room. But I won't be showing that here, because we'll soon witness that very event in far greater detail and quality,
Some burger?
so
Some burger.
you'll have to wait a little longer. After the minigame, Sophie finds herself back at the farm, but now it's much
back
more
in
empty
the
than
fucking
before.
mines.
And where Banny used
Martha,
to be,
sweet
there is
uncle
now a missing
Michael.
poster for Susan Woodings. The game's music has slowed down, warped, and
Прям красная
distorted.
шапочка.
Sophie quietly notes that everything happening seems to be tied to some
Ребят, я
event,
не знаю, что
but
мне
the
осуждать
pills
или не
she's been
осуждать.
taking
Вы про что
are
вообще
keeping her from
говорите?
remembering.
But that was very confusing and scary, but it felt like I was being told a story or a certain event. I mean, clearly I was, but, yeah. Thing is, the pills have been making me forget a lot of stuff from my teenage years and my childhood, and, like, I started taking them for a reason, but I really don't want to think about it.
Now it all starts to make sense, doesn't it? Her family has been
No.
caught in a chain of tragic events, things that would leave a permanent scar on anyone. Her father disappeared, her mother died, and as for her two siblings, I won't spoil that part for those who haven't seen the full series yet. The point is, Sophie is alone.
What do you mean?
Everyone she loved
You
the
did
most
us.
is gone.
You did us talk
And
about
what
the
better
whole.
way to make all
What?
that pain
What do
disappear
you mean? You won't spoil it.
than to forget it all? That's why
Осуждайте,
Sophie started
осуждайте.
taking pills. Pills to forget. Now, whether she started taking them on her own or was encouraged by someone else isn't exactly clear. What is clear is that she remembers almost nothing from her childhood and teenage years. All those painful events from her past. Completely erased. Back in the game, Sophie approaches the mailbox, which first displays some gameplay tips over a red, glitched out background featuring the soul of Bond. But eventually, everything goes black, and a journal page appears. At the top, we see the name Linda Thompson, but just below it, the last name Crankin is crossed out in red. Linda is Felix's wife, and this shows that she's rejecting her husband's last name. Several pages follow, and while most of them are heavily censored, there are still some key entries worth noting. The first is dated October 30th, 1964. Linda writes that Felix has been acting strangely lately, and she doesn't know what to do. He's been drinking excessively. Another entry from August 23rd, 1965 mentions that Linda had just moved in with Felix.
Oh, it's
And
boobs.
that the day before, Jack and Rosemary had welcomed their third child, Molly. She also writes that Felix and Jack were pitching their restaurant idea to a company called Cyberfun Tech. On December 26th, 1970, Linda describes how Felix and Jack built a doll called Rocket for Ed and Molly. She also notes that Felix drank heavily the day before, and that his alcoholism had already become a serious issue. She emphasizes that Felix is a good person deep down, but that he isn't doing anything to fix the
Sounds like a
problem,
video
and she
about
feels
crazy and
powerless.
shit.
On January 3rd, 1973, Linda describes how Felix's addiction has worsened to the point where it's harming both himself and her. She no longer knows what to do. A later page, undated, is written in a tone of complete emotional collapse. Linda says she doesn't know what else to do. She simply can't go on like this. The final entry is dated May 2nd, 1974. Linda writes that she's leaving Felix and moving to Hurricane. She says their relationship was never healthy. At the very bottom, we see an apology from Felix, written in red text. Sophie whispers that she shouldn't be reading this, and at that moment, the game seems to return to normal, though normal might not be the right word anymore. The game resumes, this time with even more changes than before. The most striking one on the door to the bathroom where Holly used to stand, there's now an image showing two red figures standing next to a car. It's nothing more than a premonition of what's about to happen. At this point, the background music has vanished completely. All we hear is the sound of Bond's footsteps. Sophie remains mostly silent, in shock, trying to process everything she's experiencing tonight as she walks toward Buzu's minigame. As with the previous games, the glitches and distortions here are directly tied to the person who died and is now possessing the corresponding animatronic. In this case, that's Charles Brooke, computer supervisor at Bunny Smiles and Susan's closest coworker. Sophie comments that the game is probably trying to tell her something, maybe how these people died. During the minigame, Buzu mentions they have to prepare for Lily's birthday party. Lily is Charles's daughter, which only strengthens the connection. The game also keeps showing the same car with the two red figures, as if desperate to make Sophie remember the accident.
Wait.
At one point, Sophie takes control of Buzu. Here, the game shows us Charles's death at the hands of Bond, just like with the others. But how do we know it was Bond? If you look closely during the loading screen, you can briefly see a pair of bunny ears slowly walking to the right.
Missing wheel 714, missing wheel 714, missing wheel 714, missing wheel 714, missing wheel 714.
Imagine you wake up and your body is inside animatronic. What's your first decision? Scary.
This is kind of starting to make more sense to me. I mean, as much sense as something like this can make. These are all faces of people that I think I knew when I was younger.
Yeah, dog brother.
For some reason, my brain just
Sounds
forgot
nice.
them or what happened to them. I doubt they're alive anymore. I mean, maybe they are, but it's unlikely because I would have heard from them by now. And this game really tries to make it seem like these people died. Not in very pleasant ways either. I really don't want to think about it anymore, but Jesus.
After this reflection, the footage shows Sophie preparing to enter Shaw's minigame. In this one, Shaw and Bond are playing hide and seek, and Sophie's goal is to find the animatronic sheep. In the overworld, there are several subtle details worth noting. The presence of Showbear and two gravestones marked E and M, the graves of the two red figures. Sophie chooses to explore the garden, which displays a wide view of the area along with the distorted face of Rosemary. When she returns to the overworld, the red figures are gone, replaced by the gray rabbit, suggesting some kind of connection between the two entities. Sophie ends up selecting the chicken coop, where she finally finds Shaw. But when she clicks on her, we start seeing brief flashes of Rosemary's mangled body, depicted as the Shaw animatronic. Now it's Sophie's turn to hide, and she chooses the forest. But Shaw doesn't take long to find her, and what she's about to show Sophie isn't going to be pleasant.
Am I still beautiful to you? Sophie.
I know you. Found you.
Meh. 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 This is why you don't drink, people. This is why you don't drive drunk. At all. Ever. Whatever. I be farting? You be farting? Hi. Please don't fart at my face.
Holy
The scene shifts, placing us in front of the same well with eyes that appeared earlier on the farm map. The well looks around from side to side until it locks eyes directly with the player, with Sophie. Suddenly, Shobert begins to rise from within the well, welcoming her to his magic fountain of memories and asking what she'd like to remember. But before anything else,
Let
Sophie
me in. I
asks
want to
him
become
who
a
he
fucking
is.
robot. You don't want
She
to?
receives no answer. Instead,
No.
Shobert begins to show her the tragic accident that took place on May 2nd, 1974. Sophie is about to uncover a dark truth, one that has been buried deep within her mind. And as a result, many elements that have appeared throughout the game finally start to make sense. The game shows an image of a house, with the two red figures standing at the front door. Sophie is stunned and terrified. This is her old house, the one she lived in with her family, before everything fell into darkness. Next, we see a corn maze with Shobert lurking in the shadows at the far end, followed by the gray rabbit. The rabbit says he's happy to see Bon and thanks him for helping clean up the maze. He tries to tell Bon what to do next, but he's interrupted by the sound of a ringing phone. We're then shown a conversation between Felix and Jack. Jack asks him for a favor, to take his kids, Ed and Molly, to a school party that evening. Jack is swamped with paperwork, and Rosemary is at the dentist with Sophie, so he can't go himself. Though hesitant at first, Felix eventually agrees. Jack thanks him warmly and asks him to pick them up at 5 p.m. and bring them home by 9 p.m. As the call ends, Sophie quietly remarks that somehow she remembers that conversation. The scene changes again, this time to a minigame set in the corn maze, where Sophie once again controls Bon.
With the Leatherman, yes.
During this sequence, Shobert's deep voice warns her to be careful. This memory is deeply buried, and she must find them. As Sophie explores, she speaks to herself aloud. She's overwhelmed. She says she knows what's happening now, that she's beginning to recognize all the faces she's seen, and this is where everything begins to unravel. Ed and Molly Walton, 11 and 8 years old respectively, are shown in their bedroom, getting ready for Uncle Felix to pick them up. Suddenly, Felix appears behind them, asking if they're ready. Molly doesn't want to leave without her favorite doll, the gray rabbit, which now, finally, we can name Rocket. After that, the three get into the car and head to the party. The day goes by without anything unusual happening, but it's already past 9 p.m. and time to go home. Ed and Molly go looking for Felix and find him at a bar, drinking. The kids call him out. He shouldn't be drinking if he's going to drive them home, but Felix brushes it off, saying he's fine, just a little dizzy, and gets up, ready to drive. A terrible mistake. Felix makes a fatal decision, one that will haunt him for the rest of his life, because in the crash that follows, he's the only one who survives.
Ah! Fucking heavens.
Uncle Felix, were you drinking? Our teacher says drinking is not good.
No, I'm just feeling dizzy. It's not that big of a deal, alright?
Why you not drinking, huh? You wanna die?
Molly, we're almost there.
Don't you think you're driving too fast?
Listen, I'm just trying to get you to home quickly, alright? Look, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling too good right now. I really just want to lay in the bed and go to sleep.
It's alright. We get that today wasn't the best for you. We understand. Everything is gonna be okay.
Everything is going to be okay. We all gonna die. Thanks to you, you fucking Dreamcast. That's why you don't drink while you're driving yet again. I mean, before that as well. You don't drink. Yeah.
Panicked and lost, he buries Ed and Molly's bodies in Santa Juana Forest, but they found a way to come back by possessing Rocket. Then the screen goes black as the phone rings again. Jack is desperately calling Felix, but he doesn't answer. The machine starts playing back 25 voicemails, one after another. Finally, the video cuts to a scene showing the player character, Bond, but this time without a face, interacting with the members of the Showstoppers. But then something breaks the illusion. Bond's animatronic version appears. Wait, weren't we playing as Bond? This doesn't make any sense. Or maybe it makes perfect sense. Here's my interpretation. What we're seeing is a lost soul looking for a vessel to possess. It observes all the animatronics, but none of them seem right, until it finds Bond and takes him. The fact that this version of Bond has no face makes it even clearer. At this point, he didn't have an
Dive in
identity
with
yet,
my darling
at least not one we could recognize.
faster than
Still,
I
that's just my
should.
take. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Let me know your theories down in the
That
comments.
is.
And with that, we've reached the end of the Walton Files 3. Guilty is a hidden video whose link can be found by piecing together the two parts shown throughout
Oh,
the
it's not
Walton Files
hidden
3.
anymore, by the way.
The video opens with the Bunny Smiles Incorporated logo, followed by 3 archived audio recordings, each one from the same person, Felix Kranken. The first recording, dated April 15th, 1967, features Felix formally introducing himself, alongside Jack Walton, as a co-founder of the company. He explains that Bunny Smiles was built on a single belief, that with hope, anything is possible. He believes in his company. He believes in his dream.
With hope, everything is possible.
From December
That's
10th,
why I encourage
1972,
you
shows Felix
to
delivering
join
a
Gishichi
holiday message to his employees, wishing
Oh, I
them
didn't
a
expect
Merry
it.
Christmas
What do you mean?
and expressing
Why
pride
no?
in the company's achievements. But the most important audio tape
I think you should
comes
be
next.
more
Although partially
surprised
censored,
that I know Heather's.
it's titled Guilty and is dated May 2nd, 1974, the same day as the accident. Here,
Thank you,
we hear a
babe.
deeply
Thank you.
remorseful Felix. Sadly, the past can't be undone.
Thank you,
Alright,
Pepper.
yeah. Messed up. It's been so long since I last used one of these. Last time I used this, I was driving. In the same conditions. I messed up. I have a problem.
Я теперь седой. Ой, прикольно, на краску тратить не надо.
It's been a problem for so long that I can't even remember. The first time I got drunk, I don't remember most stuff. That's probably why I carry this recorder with me.
Being I'm just no, you're not being annoyed at all. What you're saying? No. Not at all.
I know I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll think this was all just a nightmare.
Baby nipple.
Molly, are okay? But they're not. They're not. They were just children. Jack. Oh God, what am I gonna tell Jack? He would be devastated.
Imagine accidentally killing children of your bestie.
Just the idea of Jack. Jack's been the best friend I've ever had. I'd never do that to him. That's when the accident occurred. They panicked, and I buried them in the forest. St. Juana's forest, the forest next to the road. The road in which the accident occurred. I can't remember where I buried them.
Huh? Why is it different?
So fucked. What am I gonna do now? The restaurant's gonna open next month.
Next, we have a mini episode titled Spectacle. In it, a reporter named Christine Marshall stands in front of a now shuttered Bond's Burgers, reporting on the location's dark history and the string of disappearances linked to the restaurant and the BSI company. Christine works for Local 57, a news channel whose name is clearly inspired by the analog horror series Local 58. During her report, Christine interviews a mother who knew one of the employees who used to work there. The woman explains that her coworker had gone to Bond's Burgers to celebrate a birthday, and at the time didn't believe any of the paranormal rumors that were already starting to spread about the place. As she speaks, we see various shots of the restaurant, intercut with fragments from the old Bond's Burgers commercial. Later on, Christine interviews Derek Collins, chief detective of the Brighton Police Department. He begins recounting the 6 disappearances that occurred during the summer of 1974. Jack, Rosemary, Edward, and Molly Walton, Charles Brooke, and Susan Woodings.
Это моделька,
He
тут
then
сразу не
mentions that
нарисуешь
Jack
всё.
Walton's disappearance
Особенно
was
когда
the
два
breaking
аутфита.
point, the moment he realized something was
Потом
seriously wrong.
это надо делать.
However, he also voices his frustration with Local 57 for what he sees as turning the case into a media circus, connecting the disappearances to alleged paranormal activity, which, in his view, only spreads misinformation
Не, здесь реально
and
сжимай
preys
здесь
on public
большие ляшечки.
curiosity. But the facts remain disturbing. Christine continues her report, citing various incidents tied to the restaurant, loud music playing late at night, car alarms going off, lights turning on inside, and
Thank
the
you so much
eventual
for
closure of the
stream sheet.
establishment.
Thank you.
After it was shut down, the building was declared condemned, and no one has attempted to purchase it due to the urban legends surrounding it. Even so, there have been reports of break-ins and acts of vandalism on the property. Witnesses claim they heard the chilling screams of an adult woman the night before the restaurant's final shutdown. Yet when police arrived and forced their way inside, the place was empty. People believe those screams came from Rosemary Walton, and they're not wrong. The video ends frozen on a still frame, as Rosemary's muffled cries for help echo in the background. She's still there. Cyberfun Tech is the title of the 4th episode of the Walton Files, and it marks a major turning point in the series. Unlike the previous chapters, this one adopts a much more cinematic approach to storytelling and features a stunning visual upgrade. It also serves as the beginning of a trilogy, this episode being the first of 3 parts still to be released. But first, as always, let's hear what Anthony has to say.
Back when I found the Bunny Farm tapes, I was met with a dead end. Bunny Smiles Incorporated and Bond's Burgers gave
What the fuck is Anthony? I forgot.
no more info.
I
I went back to Connecticut to live with my dad. That was until my friend David approached me with an amazing find. David decided to ask locals about the terms Walton instead. Apparently that's a name that pops up a lot in the tapes. Haven't watched the tapes myself. We were directed to a vintage strip mall that had this one bulb.
Strip mall?
Originally there was a workshop in that building instead, and when they moved everything out and Starley's bought the space, one locker remained labeled Walton. Inside a box with a cheap safe, apparently the box has sat there for decades because they haven't managed or bothered to open it. Me, Ron, and David did some digging through the previous tapes and noticed a pattern. The code was 722. Curious. Inside there were a total of 23 tapes. I moved back to Brighton, Michigan to help my friends fix, clean, and compile these tapes into what we call the Cyberfun Tech Collection. This is part 1 of 3. Cyberfun Tech is a company that funded and created most BSI projects. It's unclear whether CT owned BSI or whether they were simply partner companies, but perhaps CT bought BSI at some point. Either way, all the tapes were labeled Cyberfun Tech. Supposedly, these were supposed to be handed over to technicians and artists. I should note, some bits of this compilation are weird. On some screens it would appear as minutes and minutes of empty static, and on other screens it would appear to be a white screen with faint voices heard on them.
The episode begins with the school party scene we first saw in the Walton Files 3, but this time it's reimagined with the series' brand new visual style, immediately showcasing how much the production has improved. As the siblings approach the adults' area to find Felix, the environment suddenly shifts, everything turns white, and for a few brief seconds we see a strange location that we'll explore in more detail later on. The tape then cuts to the Bunny Smiles Incorporated logo, followed by a view of Bond's Burgers storefront, and then a scene of Bond dancing and entertaining the guests just before the Cyberfun Tech logo appears.
I don't think it's
From
a
there,
dance, I
the
think it's
footage begins to
convulsion.
rewind,
But okay.
repeating several of the earlier shots, including another glimpse of that strange location, this time showing what seems to be Felix's car. Sophie also flashes on screen for a moment, though
For a
it's
second.
impossible to tell where she
Why
is
you not
or what
drinking,
she's
huh?
doing.
You wanna die?
Thank you
Next,
for
we
the
see a
hydrate.
disturbing
Our
baby
rubber
doll lying on the
gloss.
floor in front of cardboard
What the-
cutouts of the showstoppers, with the words Cyberfun Tech written beside it. A menu then
Thank you
appears
for the
with four
button.
available videos. The first one to play is Bond's Burgers promo.
Why you crying?
Upon selecting it, we see
Are
an
you
image
sad because
of
of
an
the
employee
children?
logbook from BSI, followed by an entry written by Charles Brooke on October 10th, 1970. In it, Charles says he's just been hired as the computer supervisor for the Bunny Smiles restaurant, which, at that point, still didn't have a name. Right away, we sense his excitement. He's eager
Starting
to
to
get
sleep.
started and already thinking of potential names for the place. What's interesting is that Charles
Which was
isn't
Pen
a
Power while
newcomer.
listening to Walter
He says he's known everyone for a long time and had worked alongside Susan and the rest of the team for years, even before
That's
Cyberfun Tech
nice.
existed.
I
He
hope I can
considers
keep
them
the
family.
company.
We then transition to a musical sequence featuring the Showstoppers, each performing a song.
Okay, it's about children.
Buzu
Brother.
sings Tiptoe Through the Tulips in an animated garden scene. Then Banny performs Drift Away while gleefully hopping across a hill. Finally, Shaw sings sweet music, surrounded by flowers in her segment. However, during her performance, the tape starts glitching, and for a moment we catch a glimpse of the employees-only door backstage. Next up is Bond performing I Can't Feel Anything, but just as his animated sequence begins, a red square suddenly appears, censoring part of the screen. For a split second, we can make out a white figure,
Oh man,
which, given what we've
censorship.
seen before, is none other than Bond's soul. Interestingly, the song title, I Can't Feel Anything, might be a subtle reference to the fact that Bond feels no remorse for the horrific murders he's committed. The next scene introduces us to the endoskeleton of Shaw's animatronic, identified as CBF-72, which begins to move as a new character, Cybertelly, appears. Cybertelly is an animated mascot who explains the technology developed to bring Bond's Burgers to life. We're then given a brief history of the Showstoppers, along with a shot of the restaurant's sign. The footage glitches again for a moment, and Bond's soul briefly reappears before the narration continues. And to avoid repeating this constantly, it's worth noting that this happens numerous times throughout the episode. Cybertelly starts talking about the Showstoppers concept art, but he's suddenly interrupted by a jarring tape glitch that cuts to a series of early sketches made by the BSI art department, with Rosemary Walton credited as the lead artist.
Well,
a curious detail, there's a cut right before Cybertelly is about to mention that Rosemary is married to Jack Walton. Next, we hear a voice recording of Rosemary explaining that her goal when designing the characters was to make them visually appealing to children and easy to remember. We then see Shaw performing once again while Susan Woodings narrates the relationship between BSI and Cyberfun Tech. Initially, Cyberfun Tech was only contracted to build the animatronics, but eventually, a deeper partnership was formed. Susan starts discussing her role as BSI's lead engineer, but the narration is abruptly cut again, this time showing several photos of the restaurant's interior. Susan continues, detailing the technological features implemented in the animatronics, such as free movement and the ability to interact with customers. The tape goes on to show several shots of incomplete animatronics, all set to the background music of Claire de Lune, interspersed with the steady sound of loud banging. Eventually, we see a distorted image of Susan's face alongside an inverted letter addressed to Felix Kranken, written by Norman Pooltrick, the owner and newly appointed CEO of Cyberfun Tech.
Mr. Kranken, this is Norman. I'm sending you this letter on behalf of our deal between Bunny Smiles and Cyberfun staff, and most importantly, the well-being of our Cyberfun staff. We've been getting
He lives with our parent and his mother and his wife. That's a big family.
Susan Woodings has been missing for a week now, and here in Cyberfun Tech, we are working as hard as we can to try and manage to get in contact with her. Is there perhaps any detail you could hand us to help locate our missing employee? I'm going to be entirely honest with you, Mr. Kranken, and tell you I have a ton of questions and suspicions about whatever is going on with your company. Whatever it is, it's making both your company and mine look bad to public light. So, again, if there's anything that could help us find Susan, write us back immediately. Thank you.
Don't write them back. They're gonna put you into
Right
the
after this, the
jail.
screen turns blue, and Bond briefly appears. The episode continues with brief flashes of previously seen footage of Shaw, before transitioning into a tutorial on the CT console, a data storage device created to manage the functions and programming of the animatronics. Next, we see a written note from Charles Brooke, where he discusses the console's technological breakthroughs and the early tests conducted with it. The system was designed to make the animatronics feel more
Swedish family
lifelike,
stuff.
offering a more immersive experience for guests at the restaurant. Charles describes the project as ambitious and groundbreaking, even admitting he never thought he'd be capable of developing something like this in his lifetime. It's interesting how much he praises Susan's work, clearly someone he holds in high regard. According to Charles, her contributions were spectacular and delicate, impressive enough to capture the admiration of both Jack and Felix, though in very different ways. Jack is fascinated, likely excited about the possibilities this innovation could bring. Felix, on the other hand, seems amazed, but also afraid, to the point where he admits he doesn't even understand how the technology works. After this, we're shown a second note, much more technical in tone, documenting the test results from the animatronics' first 2 weeks of operation. The mood shifts. This is no longer an enthusiastic journal entry, but rather a log of bugs and progress reports. During the first week,
Ah!
exhibits erratic behavior.
Let's kill the whole beach!
Hi, Julius.
Journal entry, but rather a log of
Thank you for the
bugs
cheeseburger.
and progress reports. During the first week, Banny exhibits erratic behavior, at one point even flipping over a table, which leads to a complete reprogramming of her environmental awareness system. Bond, in contrast, immediately recognizes Sophie, indicating that his identification system is functioning correctly. There's also a test involving Buzu, whose magic trick is mostly successful, though with some noticeable deterioration, something they hope to refine in future trials. By the second week, Banny appears to have been successfully repaired. However, a recurring issue becomes apparent. The animatronics masks keep breaking, not just once, but several times, creating an urgent need for replacements.
No. That's everyone's.
The tape quickly transitions to the startup screen of the CT console system. A new recording begins, dated January 21st,
How much everyone gave me.
1974, titled Walk Around Test.
I just fucked up a
In
little
it,
bit
we
with
hear
the
Susan and
thinking.
Charles talking about a patrol test. This is the exact moment Charles was writing the notes we saw earlier. The test is conducted from Banny's point of view. Susan explains that the animatronic must walk toward them without tripping over any obstacles. Everything seems to go well, until, just as we saw in the notes, Banny crashes into a table and knocks it over, forcing them to end the test. We then move to the next recording, Facial Tracking, dated March 27th, 1974. In this segment, Susan and Charles discuss Felix's absence. Susan, clearly resigned, assumes he's out drinking again. She brings up his alcohol addiction and how neither Jack nor Rosemary realize how serious it has become. Charles is shocked to learn that even Chris Easteryear, another employee at Bond's Burgers, knows about it, but both agree to drop the topic and continue with the test.
Gishichi,
the camera now switches to Shaw's
Wow,
perspective
thank you so much for the
as
cheese.
she
Got that
undergoes the
cheese.
facial recognition test. Charles seems a bit puzzled since they remember doing a similar test with Ed and Molly that went smoothly. Susan clarifies that the console has issues recognizing certain faces,
Why?
so they'll be repeating the procedure. Seizing the opportunity, Susan casually asks Charles how Lily, his daughter, is doing. He replies that she's spending the weekend with her mother. The test begins. We see how the system works. It first compares the subject's eyes, nose, and mouth with preloaded reference graphics. Then it scans the full outline of the face and combines both sets of data to search for a match in the database. Shaw successfully identifies both Susan and Charles, filling them with relief and joy. Charles jokes that he's earned himself a beer, reminding Susan once again of Felix's alcoholism. Suddenly, the tape cuts to the inside of Felix's house, where we see Molly Walton's spirit, accompanied by the repetitive sound of a skipping vinyl record. The next recording begins shortly after, dated May 13th, 1974, 11 days after the accident. Susan and Charles discuss the incident. The funeral has already taken place, attended only by close family. Charles wonders how Jack is coping with the loss, as no one has heard from him in a while. The two begin to suspect that Felix hasn't told them everything, especially after learning that he hid Rocket inside the restaurant, something he didn't want Jack or Rosemary to know. The mood grows tense, and they decide to leave, leaving Rocket behind in the room. But just then, Rocket starts moving toward Buzu and initiates a facial recognition scan. The system detects nothing at first, which makes sense. Rocket doesn't have any human facial features. But then, inexplicably, Buzu appears to recognize Ed and Molly inside Rocket. All of this happens while a reversed message plays in the background.
Why?
After that, the final tape in the sequence plays, titled The First, dated June 30th, 1974. In it, we hear Susan Woodings recording the same audio diary we heard back in Bunny Farm. So many of you probably already know what's coming. Here it is.
Didn't she die? Ah, she's gonna die now? Okay. Rest in peace. Oi. Oi. Oh, she's still alive. Kinda. She's gargling with her own blood, I guess. Oh, that's why her thinking in Wonderland, like... Her vision on Wonderland, she was Cricket. Like Cricket neck. Remember?
Following Susan's death,
That's
the scene fades
why.
out and transitions to midnight on May 3rd, 1974. Jack Walton is driving furiously down a road, heading toward Felix Kranken's house. He pounds on the door in a rage, screaming Felix's name, but receives no answer. We see a man completely consumed by desperation. He tries peeking through the window, threatening to kill Felix if he did anything to Ed or Molly. The image becomes distorted and static-filled as Jack begins slamming on the glass, overwhelmed with rage. Then we shift to the morning of the same day, deep in the Santa Juana forest. Felix is seen sitting at the bottom of a large pit beside the graves of Ed and Molly. The tape briefly shows the car accident. Molly's body lies in the back seat, while Felix is unconscious at the wheel, his head slumped against the blaring horn. Back in the present, Felix climbs out of the hole, carrying Rocket, Molly's backpack, and one shoe. He tosses the bag and the shoe off a cliff, but keeps Rocket, likely trying to destroy the evidence. He then slowly approaches the edge. Guilt is eating him alive. And yet, just as he was too cowardly to face his addictions, he's also too cowardly to take his own life and pay for what he's done. But maybe that's for the best. Living with this torment is a far worse punishment than simply fading away.
True.
The tape continues with an audio journal recorded by Felix on May 5th. In it, he confesses to having told Jack and Rosemary what happened. Felix describes it as the longest
Good
hour
night,
of his
Bear.
life
Thank you so much for
and the
being
most
here.
painful conversation he's ever had. Now both of them hate him. In fact, he says he hates himself, and understandably so. He admits he hasn't been able to sleep, haunted by the knowledge that the children's bodies are still buried in the woods. He says he doesn't know what to do with Rocket. He can't get rid of him, because no matter where he goes, the doll follows. He describes Rocket as a constant reminder of his mistake. The tape
As
then
it
returns to
should.
the employees-only room right after Susan's death. Here we see Bond placing her body inside Banny's animatronic shell. But before continuing, let's pause to briefly examine the cause of her death. Some parts of the series suggest that Susan died of starvation, but that doesn't add up. She's clearly murdered by Bond in this moment. Or maybe not.
Maybe she
It's
just lost
possible that Susan was
consciousness
still
because of
alive
too
after the
much
attack,
pain.
but left completely paralyzed after Bond snapped her neck. Although alive, she was gravely wounded, barely able to breathe, and with her stomach feeling strange, likely due to internal damage. This could explain why she felt like she was starving to death in her final moments. As Bond continues inserting Susan's body into Banny's suit, Rocket watches from the corner, helpless to stop him. We're then taken back to the strange, ethereal realm we glimpsed at the
Rocket
beginning
has
of
two
the
different
episode,
eyes because
a
there's
white,
two souls
surreal
in it.
space known as Wonderland, a haunting kind of limbo for souls who died with unfinished business. Here we see Ed and Molly in spirit form. Molly tells her brother that she wants to find Susan and help her. Ed hesitates, but ultimately agrees. Meanwhile, Susan wanders the same realm, crying out for help. In the distance, we hear someone whistling, drawing closer. It's none other than the soul of the merciless, psychopathic killer who took her life.
Yeah, her neck is broken.
I can hear you, Susan. I'm here.
Where are you? Please, where am I?
Don't you worry. You're in safe hands, Susan. Welcome to Wonderland.
Wonderland.
Your new home.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful? Dead? No. Not yet, at least. Your heart is still beating, but your body is now functionless. Out there, you're slowly suffocating. But here, you're safe. The spirit doesn't pass on quite as fast as the body does. I would know.
Oh, so the spirit does pass. So does this mean that they're like in those animatronics for a time being, like, I don't know, even let's take, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years or so, and after this they're just push, no more, cease to exist. But yeah, they're still gonna kind of be tortured inside, since they're still gonna feel at least something.
My manners. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Bon. And you're Susan. I've had my eye on you. I know you very well, my friend. I know you like to fix things, isn't that right? Well, so do I. Wouldn't you like me to fix you? What are you talking about? Perhaps I could help you. Here, a gift. Take a look inside. I don't understand. That is the new you. A wonderful gift that will eventually become your new body. Just like a beautiful butterfly bursting from a cocoon. You will be reborn. What am I listening? You don't have to listen to me. That is up to you. But what other choice do you have?
Not die from your hands.
Survive without being tethered to a vessel. I know you're scared. I was too. But everything will be okay. I don't... Apologies for what I had to do to you. But look, the hard part is over with now. Besides, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Holy shit. Holy shit, that's so cool. Holy. That's so cool. It's nice that they're there together. Easier. Easier to bury everything.
We finally
now.
reached the last available video, Lacrimosa, a hidden entry belonging to the Walton Files 4, which, like all the others, can be found scattered throughout the episode. The title is a direct reference to Mozart's Lacrimosa, the same piece that played during the infamous Rabbit is Starving scene in the Relocation Project tapes. So naturally, the presence of both Banny and Susan is guaranteed here, and this time, that disturbing scene is shown in far greater detail. The video's description gives us some intriguing context. Felix Archer Kranken reportedly arrived at the station in the morning on May 3rd. He had a broken pair of glasses, custody.
And boing. And boing. And boing. I wanna watch this video with you guys. Sorry. Boing. And boing. 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 Boing.
We sat him down for a few hours.
Boing.
The moment you've all been waiting for has finally arrived.
Fuck! Accidentally. Shit. Fuck. Fuck. Wait.
And a yellow dress shirt on context. Felix Archer Kranken reportedly arrived at the station in the morning on May 3rd. He had a broken pair of glasses, dirty blue pants, and a yellow dress shirt stained with dirt and blood. By the time I got the call, he was already in custody. We sat him down for a few hours, and he revealed valuable information about a case we had just been told about earlier that same day by Mr. Jack Walton. Walton's two youngest children, Ed and Molly Walton, had disappeared with Kranken the night before. Felix's alibi claimed he'd been unconscious for about 20 minutes after the crash, and when he woke up, the kids were gone. The video opens on the banks of the Clear Hill River, where the Brighton Police Department is investigating the disappearance of Edward and Molly Walton. One of the children's shoes floats gently in the water until the footage suddenly glitches and transitions into a different tape.
Isn't it really obvious that
This
he
new tape
killed
briefly
them?
recaps what we already know about
I
the
mean,
CT
hit them at
console,
least.
information previously mentioned in Charles Brooks' notes. But then, without warning,
Oi.
the footage cuts abruptly to the remains of Susan Woodings trapped inside the now headless Banny animatronic moments after she was attacked by
Oi.
Bond. In the background, we hear a voicemail from Charles Brooke, expressing sorrow over his missing friend. He says she was last seen on June 30th, though he's unsure of the date due to being ill at the time. As Charles speaks, we see Bond forcing Banny's head onto Susan's twitching body. Shockingly, she appears to still be alive. All of this unfolds while the soul of Bond, whom we can now identify as also being Bond, stares directly at us from a nearby shelf. Slowly, his face
Oi.
grows larger until it fills the entire screen, and then fades to black. Afterward, the tape displays a map of the backstage, now strangely merged with Wonderland. This might be a sign that Susan has died for good, and her spirit is now fully trapped inside Banny. Suddenly, we see her begin to rise. She's breathing heavily, agonizingly, as she stumbles through the dark,
Oh, the
empty
neck is
halls of
broken
Bond's
still.
Burgers. Room after room, she walks through a seemingly endless maze until she encounters an old CRT television. On screen is the corner of a room filled with static noise. Eventually, a shadowy figure appears, interrupting the signal. From the darkness, Bond watches her every move. As she approaches, a deep, guttural voice urges her to follow it. A door opens, leading into Wonderland. Perhaps everything we've seen has been taking place there, rather than in the physical world. Before Susan can react, Bond appears right in front of her, this time headless, part of his
For how many
endoskeleton
years was she
exposed,
there?
with glowing eyes piercing through the darkness. And just like that, the video cuts to black, marking the end of all currently available content.
Not now, not anymore.
Alright, it's time to talk about this in more depth. What really happened to Jack Walton?
This is
We
so
don't actually
like
know.
it. Oh, you should
I mean,
have
he's the
watched
first
this
person we
one
ever
with
hear about going
us.
missing, and we assume he's dead, but ironically, he's the one we know the least about.
You should
There are
have watched
countless
this
theories floating
one.
around out there, but
I told you guys the previous video didn't make much lore advances if you never watched Walter Files. That's why I suggested to watch this one. This one is way better. This one is actually tells about like depicts every episode one by one.
none of them feel truly conclusive to me. On one hand, a lot of people believe Jack's soul is the one possessing Bond. That's pretty much what everyone thought at the start of the series. But that theory kind of falls apart the more you look at it. Not only does the entity inside Bond look nothing like Jack, and openly refer
It does
to
look like
itself as
Jack
Bond,
though.
but their personalities are completely different. One is
To be fair, in the new film, it's kinda... Oh. In the new film, it's kinda still not truly clear who's inside of the bun, because it's kind of can be Jack, can be not Jack. Still not really clear, to be fair. I don't know, I didn't watch the film, I just watched like a couple of the clips from it, especially like the most like sad one that you might know about, and I still can't figure. On the other side, yeah, it cannot be Jack, but in the other, it can be Jack, but just how to say it, like if he is in the bun, maybe like Bond killed him or something like this, and then he's inside a bond now, and then like kinda two is it not two souls, because there was official artwork by the creator and basically depicting all the animatronics, showing all the animatronics, including Rocket as well.
You can have cheeseburger.
Including Rocket as well. Thank you for the cheeseburger without cheese. Including Rocket as well, right? The little robot bunny that Molly and Ed had, that Molly and Ed in right now, right? And it shows the soul basically that possesses each animatronic. And the thing is, in Rocket, for example, animatronic, there was two souls depicted, but any other animatronic showed one soul. So that says that Bond animatronic has only one soul, so it cannot be like something like Killer, Bond, and Jack. It's only one soul. My idea is that Jack maybe lost his mind. Maybe, I don't know, like he realized how this world is ugly and yada yada yada, and that's how he wants to fix that by making everyone beautiful. But in the same time, I don't know, maybe he wants like to bring more people to the Wonderland, so his children will have more people around. I don't know. We need to watch the film. You typed like Yoda's sense is still not making it. My theory is that Jack is Bond, and my explanation for that is that Felix and Jack got into a confrontation that ends with Felix killing Jack. Jack wished to expose Felix, but Jack isn't fully conscious in Bond, and so Jack Bond has made his wife and her friend beautiful, and maybe wants to reunite with his daughter but can't because she didn't die. Maybe split personality, for sure. No, split personality disorder, I mean, how to say it, I was about to say it does not work like this, but of course split personality disorder makes in usually in the profit of the, how to say it, I forgot how it's called, basically of the original persona, so to protect from certain things. But here it's only making things worse, if anything. And Bond already existed before, right? I just forgot, when did Susan died? She died first, right? After this Jack disappeared, right? And after this already is Rosemary. I'm guessing Jack isn't fully there, is in Bond's form, and maybe he's blinded by hate. Maybe something like this. Yeah, maybe why Jack is killing Bean and Bond. Maybe he actually still conscious, because he still like says sorry to Susan as well, right? Like he's still kind of remorseful, I guess, about what he's doing. Maybe he actually do it to expose Felix, because like, I mean, that worked. That led to closing out the burger or whatever they had, the restaurant basically. I don't know what happened to Felix though. What happened to him? Is he still not in jail? Still alive, right? I don't know if he's still alive and not in the jail. The kids die, Jack disappears, engineer dies. Then Rosemary and the attempt on Sophie, and those three juveniles. Philly is alive. Wait, but Susan is dead though. When does Susan died? When did she die? But yeah, maybe Jack is. But to be fair, he could have just not killed them, but like scared them off, right? Not kill. Maybe because he's like angry spirit, right? Maybe he was killed by a Bon. And maybe like when the Bon like kind of passes the body to someone to be able to die himself, right? And maybe since Jack is still like kind of angry spirit, he's still there. She is engineer, no? Yeah, she is. So engineer. So Jack disappeared. Oh, so engineer after. I see. How did he got into Bond then? Maybe because he's angry spirit. Since you know how Molly and Nada, they're still like kind of conscious. They cannot even move their body, by the way, yet. Rocket cannot still move, right? So maybe they're like not, since they're not angry spirits, right? They're like, oh, they're victims. Maybe that's why they're like not hostile and stuff like this. But Jack maybe died with hatred and like a sense of revenge, something like this. My guess is that Felix has killed Jack inside of Bond's burgers as buried his body with the 2 kids. Oh yeah, there was 3. Oh yeah, there was 3. But didn't he already dig the 3rd? How you call it in English? Oh shit! Did he? Wasn't there 3 already from the start? Like we saw 3 crosses, right? Didn't we? Hi, Liz. How you doing? Hi. Wait, where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Poi. Oh, it's already Susan. It's already Susan. It's already Susan.
Earlier shots, including another glimpse of that strange location, this time showing what seems to be Felix's car. Sophie also flashes on screen for a moment, though it's impossible to tell where she is or what she's doing. Next, we see a disturbing baby doll lying on the floor in front of cardboard cutouts of the showstoppers, with the words Cyberfun Tech written beside it. A menu then appears with 4 available videos. The first one to play is Bond's Burgers promo. Upon selecting it, we see an image of an employee logbook from BSI, followed by an entry as animated. Suddenly interrupt. Susan starts discussing.
Where is it? The хоррор смотрите Walter File. Walton File. Это аналоговый хоррор, недавно получивший полный метр, грубо говоря. Вот. Очень интересно, мне очень нравится. Yeah, it should be somewhere here, no?
Walton File.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Not here for sure. But yeah, I think there was already 3 barrels. I think. Spirits are kind of locked to one area, so maybe Jack's dead. Jack's dead in Bond, so he's possessed Bond while being blinded by hate and rage. Then Felix has buried Jack's body to cover it up, which then caused Rosemary's constant check-in, her eventual release. Then she comes back to find out if Jack's body is in Bond's burgers, but Jack Bond ends up killing her to give the kids their mother back to. But it doesn't make sense then why children is like how they got tied in general. О, не, я хоррор не люблю, при этом просмотр, конечно, я пойду. Да мы уже закончили, не волнуйся. Мы уже закончили. И там, в принципе, не настолько страшно, сколько просто загадка. But that also begs the question, why Susan? Why? My guess is to see if he could get away with it, or he wanted to companion. And Susan didn't have problems, right? Я все равно же спать собирался. А, да, это спокойной ночи. Спасибо, что зашел. Don't know. So far, yeah, there's a lot of questions. Maybe there's going to be an answers to those in the film. Not film, but like, how can I explain it? Like the 1 hour and 30 minute of it. Maybe, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch it with you guys or not. We'll see, right? We'll see. Not to my knowledge, Susan was just an engineer. She was just an engineer. I mean, but still, the Bond said that he knows her well, right? How else? Don't know. It's very incomplete. Not very. I mean, should I just heard really good words about the film, so maybe they actually depicted everything there. Where's Susan Bill Bond? Oh, but why suddenly he possesses the angry spirit? Just because? And that's why he's like, oh, creator. I don't know. I hope the film will answer on this because I'm really curious. I was watching Mulder Files when it was just like going out, like at 2021. No, 2022 for sure. 2022, 2023. That was the last time I touched upon it. So yeah, I didn't know about the last things that was released. So I've kind of first time saw it right now. It could also be a case of an ex-employee at the animatronic company had beef with Susan, or he was an ad mech fanatic that believes Steel is better than Flash. Holy shit, that would be a lot if it's like this. Maybe there's a lot of fanatics like this actually that thinks that our actual bodies is bad vessels basically. Yeah. Can be anything, right? But I still like it kind of more than, for example, Five Nights at Freddy's, because FNAF, as much as like, you know, it's classic at this point, blah blah, it's still like pretty plain, like, right? Like the dude, the killer, children dead, possessed the thingy for some reason, killing other people, blah blah blah, and that's kind of all, right? And after this, okay. We're not gonna talk about like the latest like the mimic curse or whatever, the mimic secret. I don't know, brothers. They did not ask any of secrets of mine, if anything. And of course, the one in the 3D one, right? I don't know about all those. FNAF is very vertical. Yeah, FNAF is like, I mean, I don't know exactly what was happening in the books, for example. Maybe the books is way funnier as well. Don't know. But basically, FNAF, as much as I respect the, you know, what Walton Files as well got an inspiration from, still, it's pretty simple, right? It's pretty plain. So there's nothing to talk that much about in FNAF. Here, at least, like, you know, there's a little bit more. Still not as much, I guess, but a little bit more, and there's kind of like family tragedy, right? Like first children died and then like the father went, blah blah, and their mother, blah blah, and their Sophie's still here, blah blah blah. So there's kind of like more to it, right? Lineage. In the FNAF, everyone just like straight up. First child died, second child died, blah blah blah. Then son, everyone, bam, died. That's it. Purple dude was bullied, covered up a kid's death, then proceeds to kill more. He then dies physically in Springtrap, and then he gets burned alive or something. He gets burned alive, and then somehow, somewhat, I don't know fucking how, he gets transferred into digital world and possesses a woman who plays VR how-to game, basically, when she gets hired to the job. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, I'm not against the, like, you know, the spiritual things, like, or just like paranormal things happening, blah blah blah, but sometimes it should be a little bit down to earth, a little bit more down to earth than just, oh, somehow the completely normal dude that got possessed into the that got still alive in the animatronic, blah blah, for some reason when he was burned alive, he got transferred to the digital world. That does not make sense. And for some reason, he still wants to kill and blah, blah. To Linear, there is not enough to branch off, and yeah, like the original story is just like, oh, possessed, kid's still there, blah blah blah, kid's bullied, the purple guy into submission by accidentally killing him, and then everyone is just burns. This is the, I mean, that's supposed to be the end of the story. I don't know, but apparently it's not. But the one of us has unexplained pathways, more ability to explore. Yeah. More people as well, more timelines, right? It's like lingering for so long, and for the reason, right? It lingers for a reason. In the original FNAF, I think it was quite fast revealed that, oh, there's like mass murder happened or something like this, right? Yeah, I don't know. FNAF is classic, but yeah, don't get me wrong, but I like Wanted Files more, and like, you know, way, in my opinion, way more effort were put here, in my opinion. Yeah, FNAF was way too fast, yeah. I mean, it could have just been done, right? But of course, like, new games should have been released for the more monies and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But in my opinion, it was a bad path. But with Walton Files, I think everything, like, there was such a soul put in the project, right? I mean, as far as I know, at least the first videos, imagine all the art was drawn on a phone by fucking finger. Imagine. By the finger on the phone. Imagine. I don't know when the author finally bought himself a freaking, you know, tablet. But as much as I know, yeah, he created the first images just on his phone with his freaking finger, imagine. So that's a passion. That's the passion right here. I love that stuff. I love that stuff so much. And as far as I saw in the new new film, there were no really, at least I think there is no traces of AI as well, which is freaking amazing, right? In the era when everyone is caught in the corners with AI, I don't think that he did that, at least as far as I see. I hope so. At least I see that he or she who created that, they are passionate down to every second of the chronometrage of the actual, how to say it, every second, right? They try to put little hidden quirkies, Easter eggs, and all that stuff. But this is determination. I love stuff like this. While at FNAF, well, Auto Files feels a bit like Silent Hill. It's unfinished, and I don't think it ever will be finished. No, I think it's finished, actually. I think with the movie, they put the end to the questions. I mean, again, I don't think that they still put the end to the question of who the hell is in Bonn, right? Like, there was a huge hint that it's Jack. Humongous hint. But in the end of the day, it still not fully makes sense, basically. So, I don't know. We'll hope that we'll have more answers still. But yeah, let's see who I can rate. Yeah, still unfinished. Well, let's see how it will bloom in the future then, I hope. Okay, let's see who I can read you out to. Nothing is completely crystal clear. Sometimes I think it's for the better, right? Sometimes it's for the better. Having clear questions to everything sometimes, don't know, doesn't feel like necessity. I have a rate of suggestions, use mentally. Okay. Let's see. I'll see, and then we'll see. Oi. Oh, that's good model. Oh, they might already be ending. Why am I getting back like that? The fuck? The fuck? The fuck? The fuck? Do 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 do. Culturate. Da 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 do 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 do. Wait, what happened to Twitch? Why am I always getting back? I'm just trying to find who to raid. God damn it. Da 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 da. No, wait. The concept seems funny. Wait. I think I found how to rate. They look sweet. This is rate message. This is sub rate message. Bim. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate your support, being with me here mentally. I'm really sorry for being so low energy today. Really sorry, but I fucking love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being understanding. Thank you for watching me draw my daughter for the millions stream already. I hope you have a great day though. I hope you had it and have a great day. I hope you wasn't too scared by the Walton files. And I hope you're gonna find a great time with the next streamer. Next stream is as planned. Hopefully nothing's gonna bad happen. On Sunday. I'll see you there. I'll see you on my second channel if I'm gonna be streaming. Oh, there's thunderstorm outside. Holy shit, I'm scared of thunderstorms. Всем огромное спасибо, что были сегодня со мной. Всех люблю, обожаю, целую. Всем огромное спасибо за поддержку. Извините, пожалуйста, за такую маленькую гищи. Следующий стрим в воскресенье. Если какие-то будут изменения или стримы в втором канале, все обновления в Дискорде и Телеграме. Следующий стрим англоязычный, поэтому, пожалуйста, используем эмоты или английский язык. Всем большое спасибо. Thank you, everybody. All the updates on Discord and Telegram. Bye bye, Kari. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye, Jenny. Wait, Jenny. Bye bye.